Let me go. Works better.
It looks better. I don't hear audio though.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything either.
It looks better.
Oh,
Oh, they're just like really behind.
yeah, I'm not hearing anything either.
God. It looks better.
Oh,
Oh,
man, yeah,
they're just like really behind.
you're all echoey, and I'm all kind of roboty and staticky. Man, yeah, man, what the fuck is going on? There must be something going on with the connection, maybe? I don't know if it's my connection though, because obviously I'm streaming and I'm watching video and all that kind of shit. Uh,
I don't know.
I don't know either. Shoot.
They said turn the audio up some and maybe
Yeah,
it'll.
I'll try and
What about the bitrate?
uh video bitrate's pretty low.
What about the server bitrate though? Like in
But
the
I hear you
Discord or
great
whatever?
though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You're coming in perfectly clear for me. It's just not clear on the yeah, there's got to be something weird going on. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, I've never had this problem with fucking Relive before. It usually streams really well.
What about OBS? Do you have OBS?
I do. I don't have anything set up for it though.
Ah, great.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have had Relive's always worked, so I've never needed to.
Chris Cobra says that he can hear us all loud and clear, just a bit body, if that's a word. Like low body.
Robody. Yeah. Well, let's.
Do you think maybe that'll go away if we just continue?
I don't know. I can try. I just tried to turn my audio bit rate up for the stream.
Chris Cobra says that he can hear us all loud and clear, just a bit body, if that's a word. Like low body.
Robody. Yeah. 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 You're a little echoey still, and I'm a little staticky. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything we can do about it right now. So the show must go on, I guess.
All right. Well, guys, I'm sorry that I sound like I'm in a bathtub.
Yep.
I promise you, I am not.
I wish it was better, but apparently there's nothing for it.
And Halo Storm, since you uh, were talking earlier, I will go ahead and address you this one time in here about this. I'm actually glad to hear that you are saying that you're going to quit. But you said that before, and then you jumped back to being the same way. So hopefully this time it sticks. And you said that you weren't going to worry about like whenever I fanboy out or whatever. But just understand that me joking is not me being a fanboy. Me joking is because of I know it's going to trigger people like such as yourself like before or other people, and that to me is funny. Like to see people get so um, bent out of shape over their favorite piece of plastic. Because if you talked about the bad about the PlayStation 4, if you told lies, I'd come in there and maybe correct the lies. But I'm not going to get mad because you did it. But the ones that actually get mad, those are the ones that I enjoy the hell out of triggering with my jokes. So joking is not fanboying. Joking is just joking. I don't really give a shit what system you play on or where you play or whatever. So hopefully this time you actually stick with it. I wish you luck on that. You're going to have to change some of your friends, though, because I found that a lot of people that say that they're done with it, if they follow the same people on Twitter, they'll eventually get sucked right back into it because that's all they really see. So, just a suggestion for you. I cleared off a lot of my feed from a lot of the PlayStation fanboys that I barely ever saw, but I saw just enough to where I got tired of seeing the dumb shit. So I cleared off a lot. Let's see. Yes, Garuda, I am taking a bubble bath. It's Caress. I don't even know what the hell bubble bath would even be called because I don't use it, so I don't know.
I don't know.
We're just gonna go with Caress.
That works.
I just know that's a soap. So
go get. I don't know why a PC that was 5 or 6 years old wouldn't work for Overwatch. My 8-year-old PC played it screaming fast. Although,
well, my PC, I know it's not it just has an i7, but I can play it without any just onboard video graphics. So I would imagine if I can play with the onboard video graphics, if that 5 to 6 year old even has a slight GPU, you could.
What's up, bro?
When you're back, you never left.
Yeah. You mean you never showed up?
Yeah. Jay Caesar. Go ahead.
Did you guys already start? Is it?
Yeah, we're going.
Right
yeah. Listen to the stream and see if it actually sounds decent on your end. If not, you might need to take over to see if the audio can get cleared up.
Yeah. Apparently Rambo sounds like he's in a bathtub.
Oh, you know what? That might be because of your 7.1. Hold on.
My 7.1?
No, Pete's 7.1.
It didn't have a problem last time, though.
Yeah, let me mute and deafen you guys so I can hear this, and go ahead and keep talking.
Okay.
All right.
Jay Caesar, tomorrow I will be... this is Central Time. I'll be busy from 1 to 4. I'll be visiting my daughter in the hospital. And then from 5 o'clock till whenever, I'm taking my granddaughter over to my ex-wife's someplace. Maybe. She hasn't actually told us where yet. But we're taking her over there for her first birthday party for them to throw it because I'm not letting my granddaughter go there alone. So I should be available. Just depends on what time is going to be good for you. So let me know. Just because before 1 p.m. I should be fine. And then probably I would imagine the birthday party is not going to last anywhere from an hour and a half. So anytime like after probably around 7 p.m. I'll be fine. Thank you, Chris. She's having a little bit of trouble, but I think she'll realize what and actually get herself fixed up. And yeah, Chris, I don't either. I'm not when I go to the bath when I take a shower, I'm in there and out of there. I have no time to sit in a fucking bathtub. Your audio setting and your Realtek drivers are where the changes need to happen.
I don't even have Realtek drivers loaded.
He doesn't even have Realtek drivers loaded, Brimstone. Like, you think you know what you're talking about? Just kidding.
You mean the Corsair?
The Corsair?
Yeah, like my Corsair
I don't.
audio settings.
I'm completely lost on this, but I'm just
All right,
chiming in because.
let me try that. Let me try flipping the,
Okay.
because I can turn off the Dolby.
Yeah, so I guess me and Brim sound like that we're taking a bath together.
Let me know if that's any better.
It'll have to be me talking because I'm the one that is in the bathtub. Hopefully, I can get out of the bathtub soon because I'm gonna burn up before the end of the podcast.
Fixed apparently.
All right.
That sucks.
Why?
Because not only does it sound different, and I don't like the way it sounds, but that means every time I stream it, I gotta fuck with the Corsair settings, which I don't like doing.
Well, Pete learned how to use his PC today.
See, this was not a problem before. We just streamed the other day, Wednesday. I streamed for what? How long? Over an hour? Yeah. I'm still scratchy. So there's got to be something else going on.
It's the Itchy and Scratchy show.
Well, here's the thing. Like, we no longer sit in a bathtub, and your voice, for some reason, I wouldn't say it's scratchy. It's more like it's
almost robot-y. Yeah.
It's fragmented.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little fragmented for some reason.
And that's really fucking weird. Like, I'm only streaming.
My volume's up a little bit high now that it's fixed.
Up Rambo's volume slightly. Okay.
Oh, up Rambo's volume slightly. Okay.
Let me know if that's better.
Is that better, Garuda?
Yeah, I'm streaming 720, 30 frames, and 2 megs per second.
Oh, that's weird.
I tried both 64 KB and 128 KB for the audio bitrate. I should just get fucking OBS ready to go.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have OBS.
Because I have it. I just have it due to so many fucking settings. And that's the thing. Relive always worked. I didn't have to do anything. I just loaded up Relive and it fucking...
Alright. I'll launch my OBS.
No, that's alright. I mean, I'm already streaming.
Alright. Because evidently having another update, so...
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Alright. I fell asleep. Like, I was expecting to get up, and for some reason, the thing that woke me up were notifications on my phone.
I cannot sleep this late. Like, if I sleep this late, I won't go to bed till tomorrow night.
I don't know, man. Today I just felt super tired, man. Like, I don't know what the deal is today. I even went to bed somewhat early last night. I know 4 a.m. isn't early to a lot of people, but that's kind of early for me. And I slept from 4 a.m. to like fucking almost 4 p.m. My girl got home, and then I got up long enough to fucking talk with Shane. Shane came over. We hung out for a bit. And then, dude, fucking something, I don't know what it is, but like I ended up falling right back to sleep after he left. I was so fucking tired. I don't know. I have no idea why. But yeah, strange.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you saw in the chat, but we went shopping today.
Yeah, I saw. Was it box? So did you actually get product, or did you get boxes?
Yeah.
Or...
No, there's product inside those boxes.
I thought you said you weren't gonna play old games at all. Like,
Well, not on the new systems.
Well, yeah, not on the new systems.
Yeah, he doesn't mind playing it on the old systems, which I can kind of understand because they do sometimes play quite a bit differently.
But I went to get the PS1 because I just wanted the PS1 because I had it in the box, but they didn't have like really any PS1 games there, and the games that they did have, they were broken cases, and they still wanted $27 for them. I'm like, yeah, no, sorry. And so I was like, well, hey, maybe can we go to Game Exchange and maybe see if I can get like a game or two over there? And she's like, yeah. Well, we went over there, and that was a mistake because my wife started looking at the SNES games, and because we have a SNES, and then we ended up having to because I wasn't for sure which power cable went with the SNES that we had, so We bought a new power cable for the Super Nintendo. We bought AV cables for the Super Nintendo. And then she turned around and was like, well, I want a Nintendo Entertainment Center system because we have a bunch of games for that, like the original Contra and Zelda and Super Mario. We have a bunch of those
good
originals.
shit.
Yeah.
Contra, man, that was a great game.
I love Contra. And, like, she went wild in there, man. Like, my total, because I bought Spyro for PS1 and then Spyro 2 for PS2, and my total was like $50. Well, we ended up walking out of Game Exchange for like $180.
That's not bad. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, but I was like, you know, here my wife is like always saying, you're the one spending too much money on gaming, and I'm like just asking for 50, and she's like, yeah, I guess. And then all of a sudden she adds another 107, you know, $20 on top of it. So I'm like,
Just
yeah.
enjoy it. Just enjoy it while you can, sir. Don't
Yeah,
waste.
yeah,
I know,
I'm
right?
not losing.
Because that shit happens with me and my girl too. Like if I go shopping for some shit that I want, then like there's some shit that she wants, and I'm like, okay, that's all gonna end up
Yep,
in mine
let's
anyway.
do it.
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that would be awesome, Chris, if the PS1 and PS2 had trophies, man. I'd be all over that. But what was crazy is that I walked in the store, and I go to Game Exchange quite a bit to look at the older shit. And I walked in there, and I was like, asked the guy at the counter, I was like, I got my PS2 box yet? Because he said as soon as one comes in, he'll just give it to me. He's like, nope. He's like, but talk to this guy after I get done with him. He said, go outside and do it. But he said he has a PS2 in a box out there. And so I was like, all right. And so while he was finishing up with the guy asked him, he's like, well, how much do y'all sell y'all's PS2 for here? And the guy was like, $60. And so I was thinking, shit, he's going to try to nail me for the exact same price the store would. You know what I mean? I really don't want to do that. And so I walked outside with him, and he's like, it's a PS2 Slim in a box, still has all the packaging and everything with it. And he's like, well, since they sell theirs for $65, do $30. I was like, here you go. Like in my car, it was like, I already have a PS2. I just wanted the box. But I mean, now I have an extra PS2, so I'm good with that. And then we ended up getting of course, a Nintendo Entertainment Center with the light gun. But this guy said that since we're in there all the time,
I like how you worked that in there.
what?
You guys notice how you worked that in there, and he didn't want to continue talking about that said Nintendo thing in the light box. You like moved that shit real quick there, Rambo.
I do what?
I said you moved that topic real quick when you
Which
said you had
one?
the Nintendo Entertainment.
Oh no, I love that. I love the NES. Like that's the only
do you?
Nintendo system worth a shit.
Oh, okay. Well, it was just you moved really fast along after you said.
Oh
Nintendo.
no, because it was leading right into the next thing. Because
Oh, okay, fair enough.
the guy was it's like y'all are in here a lot, and so you know that we are going to. He said we had a lot of old TVs, like CRT TVs, that we actually used to have in the shop back when we were like displaying Nintendos and stuff. And he said that he goes, if you'd be interested, he goes, I'm going to the shop, the storage tomorrow for to pay the bill and everything, and then clean up some stuff. He's like, I'll find a TV in there, clean it up for you, and it's for $25. There's like anywhere from 19 to 26 inch. He's like, would you be interested? And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, that. I mean, because that's the perfect size for me, because I don't want one of those big ass CRT TVs.
Well, not to mention the CRT TVs, like on now, like especially with like how TVs are now. That's the only way you're gonna be able to get the way your shit is meant to look. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
if you plug that shit into an HD television, it's gonna look worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the PS2 actually looks almost identical because the way it's high enough resolution in the base resolution to where you can upscale it to 1080p and be fine.
Oh, okay.
But the PS1 and below, my TV doesn't even recognize. Like my TV, I can plug it into the AV cables. My TV just like, I know something's there because like it signals that some video is coming through,
Yeah.
but it won't display it. So I have to get a CRT, and whenever he was like that, he said that, I was like, hell yeah, because I don't want to go searching through pawn shops, because like they'll try to sell you a CRT for like $60.
Oh, dude, pawn shops, they're good at getting some good deals on a lot of things. But old shit like that, yeah, they'll try to rip you off.
Yeah, because I know that. Yeah, they know if you're buying a CRT, you need it. You know, you're wanting it for a reason, not because you're actually wanting to use it for actual TV purposes.
Right. Yeah.
And Chris, spare who? And Chris, no, I'm not selling a goat. I said kid, and that's the reason why Spare Who decided to put a goat there, because that is the technical term for a goat, a baby goat. But I said that if the custom Pro, God of War Pro comes out, I will get that, even if I have to sell one of my kids on eBay. I will get that custom Pro. And
Oh,
now
you
they're
motherfuckers.
Now
Sorry.
they're actually adding super sampling to the PS4 Pro. So anybody with a 1080p TV, it's actually going to downscale the games to 1080p from 4K or 1800p or whatever the hell the P it is. So that's going to actually be a benefit, like the benefit that basically the X has, the PS4 Pro is going to have now. They're going to allow you to remove old purchase content. So if you like have games that you maybe rented or you took back, you traded back in and you don't have them anymore, or you like the betas and the demos, they're actually going to allow you to delete them off of your library. So that's going to be nice, because like that Madden 15 that I can't buy anymore digitally, I can actually just get rid of it now. So that's going to be awesome whenever that beta goes live. But now they're going to have super sampling. If the God of War Pro comes out, I'm going to give my Star Wars Pro to my son because he has a 1080p TV and it'll downscale for him. And then I'll just keep the God of War Pro. Maybe I might just keep the God of War Pro in the box because it's God of War. Oh, and did you know Kaz Harari is stepping down as Sony CEO?
Why?
He said that his thing was to he came into the business to get Sony back profitable, and this year they are set to they actually just turned a rise in profit from last year of 1,407%, like an increase of about 1,407% increase from last year.
Okay.
He said that with his age, in his amount of travel, he is getting worn down. And so he is going to be the chairman of the board and stay at home with his family. And the CFO is going to start taking over as the CEO now.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's like trying to spell doom and gloom for Sony because all the shakeups, the house stepped down or whatever. But I'm just like, shit like that happens in companies. Like, it's just, you don't just have the same CEO forever.
I mean, the CEOs kind of become. I mean, I give this to Sony, where like a lot of other companies don't really have this very much, except for Microsoft, and even them, even Microsoft has issues with sticking their CEOs at the top and making them in somewhat of a pillar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They become a pillar. They become sort of a mascot for what a lot of the fan base looks forward to. So they see a lot of change in the company and stuff. It's usually because they see that one person, and a lot of the times the Sony fans kind of like what's going on. So it's like they kind of cherish those people. And I know that sounds weird, but it really is how the community runs.
I can see like, a lot of people are kind of like, I guess, saying their goodbyes to him, like on Twitter or whatever, in like more of a meaningful way. But I think it's more like what you said, like because of what he was able to do with the PlayStation brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of because he actually turned the PlayStation brand completely around.
Yeah,
because he came in during the he worked for PlayStation during the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 days, but then he actually became head over it, like in the middle part of the PlayStation 3, where basically that's when their tide turned. Whenever they were kind of going on downward spiral.
Oh yeah.
And actually, he turned it around to where they came back and ended up winning that generation. So, I mean, he's done a lot of good for the company, but with him being chairman of the board and working like side by side with the CFO now, or the CEO, I don't think much is going to change.
No.
Because I think the only thing that he's really changing basically is the fact that somebody else will be doing the traveling.
Yeah, I think what it is like it's like the Nintendo when what's his face died,
Hmm.
and there was just you know, it was just a depressing time on YouTube when that
Yeah.
happened. Um, you know, Phil's I mean, when Phil stepped up into his new position, that's why I think why a lot of Microsoft dudes are pissed. It's like they see what they do. There's some good things that they do, and they don't think that the person that's going to be filling in for them is going to be able to step up and do what they need to do to match or even surpass the guy previously. And I'm going to be honest with you, like Kaz, he had a rough start. You know,
Oh
Kaz
yeah.
had a rough start. Everybody hated him.
He had a hell of a lot to work with, though. I mean, a lot of
Yeah,
fucking problems.
yeah, like yeah, exactly. The previous dude left him with a fucking shitstorm, right? When PlayStation 3 wasn't even getting updates, they didn't even have a trophy system when Kaz first came in. You know what I mean?
Nope.
It was literally just all you saw was well, after dude got let go, Kaz stepped up and it was like, oh well, let's do trophies and achievements. And he saw what Microsoft did and he adapted to what they were doing and put it into the PS3 and it bounced the PS3 back. I mean,
Yep. And then he started like focusing on the first party, and like he had a business sense of what would turn the PlayStation around.
exactly.
And
I think that's why a lot of people are worried about the dude that's going to be filling in for Phil. Like,
yeah,
I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with that because Phil his job was so much to make it profitable as it was to change the fucking course of what the previous asshole did. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like the
And
previous asshole.
he did a damn good job at that. Like
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
180 degrees with the course of direction.
yeah. It went from a possible no sell zone to almost everybody even thinking about the fucking thing. It's a huge turnaround in my book. Um, Previously, the guy that was there first, fucking Matrix, dude, that guy fucking, I mean, spearheaded the doom and gloom.
Yeah, you know, it would be interesting though to see if Matrix was there, what direction or where Microsoft would be right now. Now I know everybody says like because from the launch of the Xbox One or the announcement that they'd be even further away than what they are, but could it have been possibly different because he was really big about going out and being aggressive with the deals.
Yeah.
So I mean that actually could actually you know have been a benefit for them as well. I mean it's kind of one of those things we'll never know, obviously.
Well, I mean,
But
if Zynga is any
yeah,
example,
this is true. Yeah, this is true. He killed
Microsoft would
Zynga.
be belly up, dude.
He killed Zynga. So and Zynga was one of the most profitable what's it called mobile platforms out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Zynga was huge. They actually had a majority market share, and in less than a year that Matrix gets fucking signed on to them over there, they went bankrupt twice. Because they kept signing on bonuses for the guy. Like the dude was like, "Oh, I promise, I'll get you guys this. Just give me about another, you know, fucking 2.3 bill." And they're like, "Okay." And like the majority of the chairmen were signing no. They're like voting no. And the fucking dude that's in charge of them was like, "No, I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. I'm gonna overwrite you guys." Like, the fuck?
Yeah, like he killed Zynga. I couldn't believe it because he did so good with the 360.
Yeah, he did.
At least for the first part of the 360.
Yeah.
But it was so weird to see him go from that to the Xbox One reveal to Zynga, and like he just went like whenever he hit that when he went that downward spiral, like he hit the slope hard.
Bro,
he was like
sliding.
Yeah, like, this shit ain't stopping anytime soon, man.
You know, I refuse to step on any sort of air brakes right now, guys.
Yeah,
So you
now
know.
he's working at Burger King.
Oh man, that's
And
crazy.
he's just the cashier. He's not any sort of owner.
I wouldn't even let him be a cashier, man.
I know. I'd be scared. I'd be like, you're mopping, dude. Like that's it.
Like, get the mop bucket. Your job is to clean up. That is it. That is as far as you go.
Trophies, like trophies to me, I love them. But I mean, they're for more personal reasons because it brings me back to kind of like the arcade days for me. But I understand that some people don't give a shit about them. But like for them to go away, that would be terrible. I'd be forced to actually play for achievements. Like it would be. And plus, Chris, PlayStation has paid me $80 in PSN cards, and they haven't even counted my January trophies yet. So I'm ready for to get my free all my free games almost this year. The rest of my games that I'm gonna be buying probably are all gonna be free.
Are you gonna pick up Monster Hunter then?
I already have Monster Hunter.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you have you really got it? Have you been able to really dig into it yet?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Jay Caesar said that tomorrow he has to what's it called? To play with me tomorrow, and so I'll probably boot it up and play for the first time tomorrow. And they say it's pretty addictive. So.
Well, yeah. As soon as it's okay. So it only gets addictive once you figure out what you want to do. Once you figure out the kind of character you want to build, like the weapons and the armor and stuff, like how you want your character to look, that's usually that's when you start to get hooked on it, because then you realize half the shit you want requires you to kill a big ass fucking dragon that can wipe you out with his claw. You know, I mean, that's just how it is. But that's part of the fun though. Hunting is absolutely a blast. I love hunting.
Get fucked, Junkrat.
Rathalos. You'll come across a quest if they kept it. I hope they kept it. It's where it's called, what is it? It's called Rathalos and Rathian quest. It's where you have to hunt both of them at the same time. And I can't remember, it's called Lover's Quarrel or something like that. It's pretty fucking
Now my
intense.
question is, does this actually have a story to it? And the reason why I ask that, because it looks like I can go onto the game, do a couple of hunts, and then just back out.
Yeah, I think this one might have a story. I'm not 100% sure. I've never what Monster Hunter is, or it has always been, is you take those typical Kabbalah hunting games, right? No story, you just hunt, get what you need, you move on to your biggest trophy. That's your accomplishment, biggest trophy, hunt. That's what Monster Hunter's always been. I think Capcom has tried to put a story on this one. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, if it doesn't have a story, like a story that you have to kind of like an Uncharted story, like where you're staying in it, and progressing in the story, then I think I'll like it even more, because that means then I can jump in, do a couple of hunts, and then jump back out and not have to like stop in the middle of a story. You know what I mean? Because I hate stopping a game in the middle of a story, because then if you don't go back to it for a while, then you kind of forget some of the story, or you get mixed up with some of the other games you play. But if this is a jump in and jump out type of thing, then I'm probably gonna enjoy the hell out of it.
Yep. And then you might end up liking it. Like I said, it's a lot like Kabbalah's hunting shit, where you can just jump in, find a buck that you want, go for the high weight in, high measure rack, hunt it, and then you're done.
Cool.
Except for this kind of hunting, you don't get to
it's
take
a little bit
gun.
harder.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
shit will take you forever.
I've seen some videos where it took 4 people to bring down one of the monsters, and I'm like, fuck.
Bro. Yeah. And sometimes those hunts, if you're by yourself, could take anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours, dude.
Oh, nice.
So when you look at those monsters and say that's why I say it's Souls-like, is because Souls is like that, where any boss could take you 20 minutes, or if you're smart, it'll take you less than that. But then they got those those rare dungeon bosses where they're an hour and a half.
Now, can say if say if I go up, if I'm by myself or whatever, I go there and I start hunting, I come across an animal and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna kill it, and I realize that I bit off more than I can chew. Is this something where I have to quit mission, or can I just actually run away and just go hunt a different one?
You can run away, but if you piss it off too much, it'll chase you through the map.
Oh, and so it'll force me to kill
the
it?
different zones. It'll chase you to different zones. Yeah.
So it'll either be you kill me or I kill you, one of the two?
Yeah.
And so if he kills me, will he continue to chase me until I kill him?
No.
Okay, so once he kills me
once you're dead, as long as you don't run into him again, you'll be fine.
Okay. I was like, well, because that would suck to turn on the damn thing every time, and that one fucking boss I can't fucking beat
this
ever.
This piece of shit's trolling me right now. I can't take this.
That fucking game's trolling me. That would piss me off. I'd be like, All right, everybody's jumping in my game now. We're killing this motherfucker. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna. Should I? Hey, Jay Caesar, should I take some time tomorrow before we play and like set up my character? Is that any suggestions on how I should set my character up? Like, what's a good character to go with, or
Man, there's
just
so much now. Like from when I first started playing Monster Hunter, we didn't have that many choices. We had the longsword, which was which was a bone blade, right? It looked like something out of Final Fantasy, for fuck's sakes. Then you had the katana, and then you had twin daggers, and you had the hammer or a blunt weapon, and that was it. That was like all we had back in the day.
a hammer?
Yeah.
So some of them animals fucked all that like that.
But
That motherfucker
now,
better be a
but
big
now
ass
you
hammer.
have more than that, dude. You got like fucking tons now. It's
Yeah, there's a
crazy.
shitload of weapons now.
Yeah, you got a shit ton to pick from now, dude. Like it's crazy.
Do they
Like,
have any
back
guns?
then, yeah, there's guns. There's guns. There's cannons. There's fucking there's what is it? Cannon bows.
Like they just need to give me like a RPG and I'll be alright.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that'd be like a cannon bow then. because
Or a
it
nuke.
Yeah, you know, cannon bow it is. It's pretty much it's exactly what it sounds. It's a bow, but it shoots high explosive rounds.
Yeah, I'll have to check out all the choices. I haven't even like popped it up like even during the beta or whatever. I never
Or
popped it
heavy
up to
bow
look at
gun,
it.
yeah.
I kind of hate playing those betas that are like really right before release because they're basically demos, and so I hate being because it takes kind of like the surprise of the game away. Like it's almost like you just let somebody borrow your game and then you get it back. You know, I'd rather go into games like kind of surprised. That's the reason why I'm
Well,
staying away from all the God of War stuff.
Don't be surprised when you're in the middle of a hunt and then a bigger monster decides it's gonna pay you a visit while you're trying to hunt one monster.
You're
That's-
kidding, like
That happens sometimes, yeah. That shit's crazy. That happened with me in the first two, and they kept it in Monster Hunter United. So I'm not sure if they did it in this one because Jay Caesar was just saying that they no longer hunt after you for some reason. So I mean, but yeah, you'd be in the middle of saying like, let's say you're hunting a Rathian, and then out of the blue, like another dragon or another like a Kutku would come out and hunt you. It's like the fuck, like, it's so annoying, but it's fun. It's fun.
yeah, I'm gonna have to check that because everybody keeps talking about it, and it seems like it's a really good game.
Well, it's pretty much just one of the best action RPGs around.
It's actually the basis for what was that other Capcom game that came out that was pretty good? It was about hunting monsters.
Tokiden?
No.
Because it was the basis for that one, too.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah, it's another traditional. Fuck. I'm gonna have to look this up. It's called. I think the expansion with it, all called Dark Horizon. You remember what you remember that game, Pete? Like the complete game was called Dark Horizon.
No, I don't know.
But yeah, that game was based off of it. And that game got like all kinds of accolades. It got Game of the Year at one point. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
bullshit.
I ended up picking up Spyro 1 and Spyro 2 for the PS1 and PS2. I was gonna pick up. I thought it was Final Fantasy 7 because through this case it was kind of hard to read, but ended up being Final Fantasy 8. But if it was 7, I would have bought that just for not to buy it, not to play it, but just actually to have it because it was in pristine condition like this thing was. It was like I just wanted just to be able to have it because I know it's going to end up being worth some money too. And somebody works at GameStop, and they traded. Somebody came in there because they take in your old trades like Super Nintendo and shit.
Yeah.
But they came in there and traded in a game called Earthbound. And Earthbound is a very hard to find game. It's a very rare game.
It sells, yeah, and it sells online for
And
a lot of money.
he told the guy, "Dude, don't sell this here. Go put it on eBay. You'll make tons more money." And the guy was like, "No, man, I just want to get rid of it. Just take it." And he's like, "No, seriously, sell this on eBay. I'll take everything else. Sell this on eBay, and you'll trust me, you'll be happy." He's like, he kept on arguing, saying no, he wanted to trade it in, so he went ahead and did it. Gave him $20 for it. Turned around and then sold it for $200.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, man. I was like, if I mean, really, I mean, the guy gave him every chance to like be smart.
Well, yeah. What the
And
fuck are you
so,
gonna do if they absolutely, he told him.
yeah, like, so I mean, at that point in time, like, he deserved to lose the $180. But shit,
Because
like Earthbound, if I
fucking-
had a copy of that, that shit
sounds
would be
like to
on
me that sounds like to me that kid was a fool. Like,
a fool, or he has stolen the shit.
yeah, he probably stole it. I bet you that was somebody's fucking like somebody's pride and joy, dude.
I imagine, because that thing is
You
a
you
that
hear
thing is a
about
very
Earthbound, and you don't hear about people trading that game in because nobody does. That's not something that you could easily just. Oh, $20? Okay. Like,
no. You can go buy it on eBay for like two to $400, but fuck, I've never seen it somebody like traded in at no fucking secondhand store. That's just insane.
Yeah.
yeah, he probably stole that from a friend or whatever.
Either that or maybe got it from, a family member or something like that.
Something,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, but he was dumb. I mean, because he could have like got more than what he got for the whole entire trade in on that one damn game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to. Like, we have some old games like Contra and still in the sleeve and everything. The original Zelda. And I mean, if you go to look at it, those things are like $50, $60 inside the stores, the secondhand stores.
Yeah.
And so I figured if we continue to hold on to it, the more and more we hold on to it, the more and more it's going to go up in price. And like, I don't think I'll ever get rid of Contra and Zelda, though. I mean, like, those things are like really the fun game, like the true fun games of the or the Nintendo Entertainment Center. So
Yeah.
no, Chris, it's not 60. The X comes close to 60 in performance mode. But it doesn't ever hit. I don't think it actually hits 60, but it gets as close out of the two. But for the most part, it's pretty much a solid, stable 30 on the two systems. But I don't mind. I mean, I don't know. Action RPG after playing Neo in 60 frames per second, like Dark Souls is a little bit kind of harder to play.
Yeah.
Because man, there's a big difference between an action RPG like that to, like, say, between Neo and Dark Souls as far as like the response time. And those games are all about like the response time.
Man.
Trying to think of what else Far Cry 5. If you buy Far Cry 5 Season Pass, you get Far Cry 3 remastered for free.
Interesting.
They're doing a free remaster?
Yeah, they're putting 3 on the PS4 and Xbox One, but it comes with the purchase of the Far Cry 5 Season Pass.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have 3, 4, 5, and Primal all on one system, so that'll be cool. And that actually all kind of currentized.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Like, I like the Far Cry series a lot, too, so that's good.
And see, I don't mind remasters like that, like especially to where even if it's like I mean, I'm sure it's probably not going to be one of those full remasters where like Shadow of the Colossus, where it
Completely
really
redoes
updates
the whole
looks.
engine and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's just going to be basically playable on the PS4 and Xbox One, and and it's going to look like Far Cry 3. But for the most part, I'm okay with that. Like that, to me, that's okay because you're getting it basically free if you buy the season pass. Because I love Far Cry, so I went ahead and pre-ordered already a long time ago, the gold edition. So I'm like, that's an extra bonus for me, man. Like, get myself the.
You know what I've learned? Like, even though they're all pretty much the same thing, like, it's just their bosses are always
Yeah.
as fuck, dude. Like,
Yep.
they have
somebody asked,
just crazy fucking bosses.
somebody asked me today, like, which one's better, and I was like, shit. I was like, Far Cry 3 I enjoyed. I said, but Far Cry 4's boss, like, Pagan Min was just, he's like one of the best bosses. Like, he's just fucking out of this world.
He's
I
like
enjoy-
just trigger happy, doesn't
Yeah.
give no fucks.
I enjoyed the hell out of him. And Primal, I was like I said, Primal is kind of weird. I haven't played it all the way through, but I was like, it's not a typical Far Cry game. It's like just if you want to be a caveman and just go kill shit, like it was just like a perfect break from the Far Cry series.
Yeah.
And then Far Cry 5 looks like to be another crazy fucking setup. I mean, I don't know. I enjoy how what they come up with as far as the bad guy.
Yeah.
And this time I think is going to be the first time that they actually changed the setting to not like one of those remote, islands that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Oh, and Red Dead Redemption 2 launches October, I think, 26th.
Oh, okay.
That's their release date. I guess they said it got delayed, but to me, whenever somebody says it's coming out spring 2018 and they just tell you, okay, it's coming out October 26th, I'm not really sure that's a delay. That's just like they gave you like a window of possibility, and then they finalized it, But that's the way I look at it. I don't ever, like, if they had given us like March 23rd and then they said, okay, now it's October 26th, to me, that's a delay. But if they just said spring, to me, that doesn't really mean a delay to me.
Right.
But it's going to be interesting to see what game, because that's going to be launching really close to Call of Duty. Of course, nothing really hampers Call of Duty sales.
No.
Even Call of Duty fucking it up can't hamper their sales. So I'd like you know what's going to end up happening? Microsoft's going to launch Crackdown 3 right next to it. Because Microsoft always ends up launching their big games during that time of the year for some reason. But I boxed up my X and my Switch until another game comes out that I actually want to play.
Yeah.
So that way I can make room for all those other systems in my entertainment center. There's not an empty hole now without a system in it. Some of the holes have two systems in it. And now I gotta work because I finally got my wife to allow me to do the whole PlayStation family. Besides the PSP, I still gotta get one of those. But now I've got to try to slowly, kind of start working on and hinting about to get the Xbox family as well.
I thought you have all your Xboxes, don't you?
No, I just have the Xbox One. I
thought you had an X.
I do have an X, yeah, but I sold the original Xbox and the 360 back a while back. I sold the 360 whenever they started making backwards compatible because I was like, I'll never turn the system on. And then the original Xbox, I never played it. Never really even got put into the entertainment center because I didn't have room for it at the time. And so when I just put it on eBay like that in the games for I think it was like $60 or something like that, and sold it pretty quickly.
Oh.
But I'll get them back again because you can get the 360 now for really damn cheap. The only one that really is more of a hassle to get is the original Xbox because people want those for modding. So that's kind of the downside of it. Hey, Garuda, I don't know what you mean Game Pass is cancer. To me, it's a hell of a deal. I mean, only time will tell if it's going to hurt or help Xbox. But I mean, at this point, it doesn't hurt to try. And to me, it saved me a hell of a lot of money because now my Xbox can sit back and I can pull it out in December, play all my games, box it back up, and be like, all right, cool.
Right?
Yeah, I'm like it. And by boxing it up, I figured if it's not sitting there in front of me, not being used, then I don't have that inkling to go sell it because it's out of sight, out of mind.
It's actually a good idea.
So what did I walk into?
Hey, man. Oh, no.
Back from your getting your nails did?
Did it look pretty?
Oh,
Are
they're
you
gorgeous.
pretty? Oh, so
Did
pretty.
did they get your cuticles done good too?
Oh yeah, they're fucking gorgeous. They got little hearts and shit painted on.
Yeah, as long as you take care of my boy, that's all that matters.
Oh, they do.
That's good.
Well, Garuda, that's the thing is that the like Game Pass, like we talked about it here before, but the only way that Game Pass works for the devs is if Microsoft pays them a chunk of money up front. And I'm sure that's what they're going to have to do because Microsoft is not going to want to split up the $10 a month to a lot of people. So what they'll do is they'll pay a set amount to these devs and then take the money from the Game Pass. So to me, I like I said, it's going to be a matter of time to see if it pays off or it kills some things. So as of right now, I don't see anything but a positive.
I think it would work
Oh,
for multiplayer games especially well.
Yeah, if they launch story-based games, like if it's not gonna.
No, because
It won't.
people like
Yeah.
keeping those too much.
That and the fact, I mean, is like too many people can just subscribe for a month and then walk away.
Right. But
and
for like the
where-
Call of Duties,
Yeah.
I mean it makes a lot of sense to put it that way because then you don't have to worry about buying the next new Call of Duty. You just know
Any
you've
game
got
that's
it.
copy paste every year.
Sure.
Call of Duty, fucking
Or
Madden.
well, I mean, just
Assassin's
even
Creed, FIFA.
even like see it. Well, no, not Assassin's Creed wouldn't work because of the fact that it's not multiplayer. Because you could get through Assassin's Creed in a month and cancel, and not have to worry about coming back to that game. But like Sea of Thieves, like if you I think it launches in March, but say you launch in March, you pay the $10 and think, okay, I'm gonna play Sea of Thieves for a month and I'm gonna cancel. With it being a multiplayer game, if you actually get hooked on it and actually enjoy it, that's gonna cause you to spend the next $10 and the next $10 and the next $10 rather than going out and paying $60. Or you're just gonna go out and buy the game for $60. So, I mean, I think that's what they're banking on, and since they do a lot of multiplayer games, or their games kind of hinge on multiplayer, like it's almost like perfect for their setup. Like Halo's I think would do well on it. It won't.
Or maybe it would
They
work
won't-
with single player games if they gave an option for a discount buying them.
Well, they do.
Is it
You do get a discount for buying them, yeah.
okay?
On Game Pass. The only thing is though is that, why? I mean, if you look at if they did if they did the PlayStation style, like they were doing, like their first party did the narrative-driven stories. You could pay. I mean, if they had as many as like PlayStation, you could pay 2 or 3 months worth of Game Pass, beat them all, and you basically can walk away for $30 rather than spending $60 a title. So I mean, I don't see story-based games doing good in Game Pass.
Well, unless if that's all that the person plays, sure. But if they like multiplayer games
yeah.
too, then it's
Well,
just
that's
icing
the
on the
hook.
cake. Yeah.
The multiplayer games are where the hook is.
And I think that's what they're banking on. And that's the thing. Most people do like at least playing one multiplayer title.
Well,
It's not a whole lot of people that.
I think the Sea of Thieves game's gonna carry that. It's gonna float the program, personally. 'Cause people are gonna be on the. I have a feeling that people are gonna be on the fence about it, even though it looks cool. There's gonna be a lot of skeptics out there, so that I think they're gonna rather be, hey, we're not too sure about this.
Oh, you mean to go try it out first?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, because the views on Twitch, like launch day was like 200 and some thousand or 2 million or something like that. I don't know. It was like some high number. It was like 2 million something. Because
Yeah.
it like took over like League of Legends. It was the #1 Twitch stream. And then it went down to like way down, like to where like 180,000 or something like that was doing it. So I don't think it'll be like because at first I thought it was going to be like a great streaming game. They consider it, but most of the people, the PC gamers really aren't going to touch the Windows 10 store. So it'll be mainly the Xbox guys that stream, and it'll be interesting to see how many of them do. Because like right now, there's not a lot that really out of the number of consoles that are out there. There's not a lot of them that do stream. So I think it'll be perfect for streams though, especially that 4-person stream on Mixer. because then you can watch like each person of the crew. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if I do get Game Pass, that's what it'll be for. Is just to try Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
And not to mention, like, I think a lot of the community is sort of skeptical about a lot of Microsoft games. So I hate to say it, but I think Microsoft might be onto something in the form that I think they realize that their sales numbers aren't as good as what they tote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're like, let's come up with a system where we could at least, you know, say our sales are up, or at least match those sales by using another service.
Yeah, and plus it would actually at least maybe I think the ultimate goal is not to get people to subscribe to Game Pass, but also to get people to go buy that game.
Yeah.
And I mean that's like $10 to try a game really isn't bad at all.
No.
And even if you don't like it, I mean $10, it's a lot better than being out $60 because you can't return a $60 game.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, like that, I don't know. It seems like a good deal to me. I'm like what Garuda said. The only person I'm worried about in this whole situation are the developers.
Yeah,
But
I'm
again,
definitely worried about those guys.
Although, to be fair, though, for them, it means a lot more steady income versus banking that people have to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Because
it all depends. It's not a guarantee thing because
it is for like
try out.
it is for like oh come on they're gonna have to give them something
I
like
think
guaranteed.
You're talking about the upfront thing. Okay.
Yeah. So that
I
means
agree.
that
I
they'll
agree.
get a lot. They'll get a good chunk up front, and so even if their game doesn't do as well as they thought it might, they still get a decent amount of money. And then of course the games that do better obviously will get paid a lot
Yeah.
more. So that'll actually might work out better for the developers, at least as far as keeping a steadier stream of income coming. So they don't have to like put all their eggs in one basket, praying that like this new game that they're they can take a little more risk. Because
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
won't
that
matter quite as much if a certain game fails compared to they don't have to do the next Call of Duty every time.
Yeah, I just don't want to see any of the Microsoft studios because they don't have as many as they once had. But I don't want to see any of them go the way of like Lionhead and stuff to where they close them down because they're not profitable anymore.
Yeah.
But hopefully, if they become not profitable, they realize that it's not because so much of them as a studio, but more of like the choices that Microsoft has made for them. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I guess really a wait and see on what happens with them, whether it takes off or it becomes a problem. And Chris, I actually have bought every single Xbox One exclusive since launch. Like I own every single one of them. But I'm like you now. I'm not going to continue buying games that I never play because they're multiplayer games, and I'll play them every once in a while, and paying $60 for a game like that just to play every once in a while isn't really worth it for me in the long run. So I'll use the Game Pass in December, and if one of the games catch me, and I want to play it, say in January, then I'll pay again. But if not, then I'll just, since I know they're on there, I'll just pay the $10 later on if somebody wants to play it again. Pay $10 and jump in again. So I like the idea because now I don't have to really worry about. It kind of like allows me to use that money that I was going to buy games with there and buy them somewhere else. So
yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna save you money to buy more games in the long run.
oh yeah, especially with how many PlayStations coming out this year. I'm gonna have to I'm kind of glad this actually worked out because it frees up some money for like those games that are like launching this year.
And
then
a
I can
PS3 box.
Oh yeah, I do need a PS3 box. Yes. And
See?
anybody in the chat have a PS3 box they want to I'll give you my address.
See, and he, can totally spend that free money on a box.
I would.
Oh, we all know you would. That has never been in question.
Well, that PS2 that I bought today was only for that box.
Are you kidding me?
No, there's a PS2 inside of it, but I didn't even check to see if it worked or anything like that. I just wanted the box.
Shane's so funny. He's like, "Are you really serious?" Yep, he's serious.
Man, I'm actually going. My wife told me to look online to see about buying a Pong system.
Oof.
That would
And
be cool.
That's gonna be pricey.
Yeah, the guy at the store was like, he goes, "You better be prepared." He goes, the Pong system will probably cost you more than both of the new systems combined. I was like, "Yeah, that's gonna be fun." But I can't wait.
Ah.
When my wife starts talking about like me buying consoles, I'm like, okay,
Yeah, right? You don't question this.
no, I'd be stupid.
You're like, "Okay, baby, I love you."
But she's given me a green light to look for a Nintendo Entertainment Center box, an Atari 2600 box, and of course a Pong in a box.
Dude, some of those consoles are so old they don't even have a box anymore. It's just dust.
Fuck you. That means I'm not old.
Yeah, but you're not a piece of cardboard.
I'm pretty much turning into dust. I can tell you that. When I fart, like grains of sand come out.
Oh, I mean, you got that going for you.
If
If I can just like squeeze it out into a diamond, I'd be all right.
Well, you could fart next to a blowtorch, make glass. I mean, there's that.
I might like have to burn my ass.
I agree, Chris. His wife is going to hit him one day. There's going to be a domestic dispute.
Chris, damn it!
It's like, have you guys seen Charlie around? No, man, he might beat his ass.
Like I start doing videos, and the next thing you know, like my face cam part is gone, and I'm
I
like
hear
talking.
slam, laugh, and oh my god, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck?
Chris, like I don't want to buy boxes like that. I mean, if I could make a PlayStation 3 box out of a Nintendo Labo, I'd probably do it. But no, I want the boxes so that way whenever I move, my goal is to actually have like all the boxes of the consoles that I own like on display behind me in the video. So
Yeah. Did you get one with your Vita?
fuck you.
I think I have one.
Do you really?
I think I do.
If you do,
Yeah, if I do, I'll send it to
I would
you.
love you for a long time.
Yeah. If I can find it, I will send it to you.
Wait, how come you don't have a box for your Vita, bro?
I bought it used.
Oh, why would you do such a thing? You just...
You know how hard it is to find a brand new Vita?
Yeah, I was gonna say there aren't any left. I don't believe.
You have to buy it from Japan, I think.
Even then, I don't think they manufacture it. They haven't in a long time.
No, but I found the new one in a box,
Oh.
like, colors or whatever in Japan. But
Gotcha.
the costs were.
Oh yeah, it's
I
be
think it was
ridiculous.
Like $250 or something. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you can get them for like 100 and something, if that.
Yeah, I think mine was like 120.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm not spending that much money on the box. So, like a PS2 though, I can get the PlayStation 2 in a box, brand new, like still wrapped in cellophane and everything.
Wow.
It just costs the same price of an Xbox One X.
Oof.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll take a used box. It works for me. Spending $500 on that old of a console is just not my. However, though, if I probably have to end up spending like $500 on a Pong system. Where? I was like, oh, my wife just told me they have a Pong system for like $40 over there at that VR place. So we might actually have to.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, y'all never have played Pong, have you?
Yeah, I have.
I have never played it. No.
I had a family, dude, that was never with the times. Like, we were always behind, so when everybody was playing it in 64, I was still on the Nintendo. I didn't finally get a Super NES until
I
long
never
after
had
the
a
death of the
SNES.
N64. So I mean,
It took us forever to get a PlayStation 1, and then it took us forever to get a PS2, and that's all we ever had. Except for
I'll tell you what.
my computer.
Yeah, my wife was today when we were looking at games. She was like, "Honey, what's this game?" And I'm like, "I don't know." That's like back then. I said, you gotta understand. Like, I didn't have 400 games. I was like, we were lucky to end the generation with 10 games. Like, I said, I don't know half the fucking games that were on there because I never realized there was that many fucking games on the system because I never got to see that many.
Yeah, no, when people tell you there's like 300 whatever Sega Genesis games, you're like, nah, there was like 10, maybe 15.
Yeah,
And like 8 of those were different variations of Sonic. So,
yeah, I was like, it was just Sonic 1 through 8. Like, that's all it was. Yeah, I never, like, the PlayStation 2 games and PlayStation 1, I was looking at them today, I'm like, I didn't even realize there was this many games made for it. Like, I know that they say there's 10,000 games, like a little over 10,000 games made for the PlayStation 2, but it never registered with me, like, what that actually looks like until you go to, like, these secondhand stores, because to me, like, when I had the PlayStation 2, it was, like, maybe 10 games, maybe 12. Other than that, I mean, like, it was just not that much, because that was, like, whenever I was buying it myself on minimum wage, so I wasn't doing much of buying new games back then. And they were costly as hell. But yeah, I guess the systems that I need are a Pong. My wife wants a Dreamcast.
Oof. That'll be hard to find.
Well, no, there's actually one over here at that VR place in the box for 60. I know, $60. That one over there in the box of $60.
That's not bad.
No, but the box was kind of tore up, so I was like, yeah. But I've got to get a box from my GameCube. And Super Nintendo.
A Super Nintendo will be hard.
Yeah, I haven't even in all these stores I go into, I have never seen a Super Nintendo.
Hey, Nintendo, this is what you should be doing with Labo, you fucks.
Yeah, I'd buy Labo just to make some fucking Nintendo boxes.
well, I mean, you got to remember, like, most of them still out there were ripped open by kids on Christmas. I mean,
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because back then adults didn't really game. However, that PlayStation 1 I got today, you would never have thought that PlayStation 1 box had ever left the shelf. Like the tape that's actually on it from the Sony store, the security tape was actually still like just cut with a straight razor, and the box has like no dents, no scratches, no nothing. Like I was like, how the hell did somebody keep this from 1995 to now, and not have any sort of sign of wear or tear? And it actually still had the styrofoam and everything in there.
shit.
Yeah. Like whenever I saw that and it was $90, I was like, yeah, I want that, because finding a PlayStation 1 box that's not tore up now is kind of hard.
Yeah, ours didn't even come in a box.
What do you mean yours didn't come in a box?
It was
Secondhand?
No, we got it at cost. We got them. Oh, I don't know about the PlayStation 1, but the 2 for sure. It came in a clamshell package because it was the Costco version that came with 2 games and or 1 game and a demo disc or something like that. But it wasn't a box. It was a clamshell package.
Yeah, they didn't always make special edition boxes for different bundles back then.
Yeah. Because there was like, you could get it with like 3 or 4 different games, and the packaging was always the same. It just the game changed in the in the corner or whatever. Is everybody still there?
Yeah,
I'm
it went like
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm playing PUBG right now.
Fucking Brem.
What are you doing that for?
I know, right? Why would you do something silly like that?
I know you're playing the commie game, so I mean, I think we're in the same boat here.
Better not,
Both of our developers want to be commies, dude. So I mean,
Yeah.
better hope they don't find out you're streaming this kind of podcast while playing Overwatch.
Dude, you're telling me, bro.
Or PUBG. Like shit, Brendan Green will bang you too.
yep.
Yeah, don't honk the horn in the car either, Brim.
Like I did the other night with you and me in the car.
Well, see, it's kind of funny because we were streaming. Well, he was streaming and I was recording. And my first question was, well, since you're streaming and you're honking the horn, do you get banned? Is that how that works? I don't know.
With my luck, yes.
Right? The answer is yes.
Exactly.
Just had it after.
I could see that being a thing.
What being a thing?
Getting banned.
Oh.
The Xbox guy says, if I see a grown man on the street with a Nintendo Labo, I'm kicking his ass.
Yeah.
Oof. That sucked. Did you see the Final Fantasy 15 developer address the Steam community today, or I don't know if it was today or yesterday or whatever?
No, I didn't. What do you say?
The PC version of Final Fantasy 15 is not going to be a console port. They have completely redesigned it from the ground up for PC, and apparently it's a generation ahead of the console version.
Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they said a long time ago that the reason why it didn't launch on PC is because they didn't want to do a console port. They said it was too special of a game to treat y'all like just a port, because they wanted to actually build it from the ground up. So I'm glad to hear that they're actually still sticking with that.
Yeah. I might actually have to buy that just because they did that.
Pete's gonna spend $60.
Maybe not 60. Wait for the first sale.
Like but then he'll be like, well, 50 is still a little bit too much. I'll wait for the next sale. I mean, by the time it's like $5, like I'd really wait for it to be like $1.
Right.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Because every time I buy a game for 60, I end up being fucking disappointed in it. And the games that I wait to be like 15 or 20 or even $30, those are the ones that I love the most.
Well, that's because, I mean, you probably would have loved it at 60. It's because it's the exact same game.
Well, no, sure, but I just have I picked the exact wrong ones. So
you're out of a pack of bubble gum by the time you spend it, rather than an actual another game. Like, because by the time you buy a game, it only costs about the price of a pack of bubble gum.
Yeah, because I paid 60 for Prey, and not that it was a bad game, but I was just disappointed in how it was compared to the first one. I really liked the first one.
When Final Fantasy 25 launches, Pete will be talking about Final Fantasy 15.
Probably.
Like it's like a new story to him. Like,
Yep. Dude, I bought Borderlands 2
right
like
price.
3 years later, and I fucking loved it. I played the shit out of that game.
Well, I can't talk about that because I only played Borderlands 2 like a couple of years ago for the first time. But that wasn't because of cost. That was just simply because I didn't think I liked the game, and I ended up one of my favorite games. I mean, that Tiny Tina is like.
Oh, dude, yeah, right? She needs a whole arc. Just keep going back to her for quests, because, yeah, that was funny shit. Her fucking tea party.
Yes, and then the songs she sang was fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck you all. I would have had all of them.
I actually need to play Borderlands.
I don't know about 1. I never played 1, but 2 was definitely great fun.
The only one I've played is Tales from the Borderlands, so I need to play one of them.
So, Chris, do you see gaming? I mean, I know you game, so you're not really talking bad about gamers, but do you actually see gaming as a kid's thing? Because I'm seeing your comments in it, and see that's a lot of people still do it. still see it that, but like the thing is, of the average age of a gamer is
Oh, it's-
actually like 32.
Yeah,
or
it's like 30 something now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're in the 30s. So I mean, children really aren't gaming as much as the adults are now,
So Judy gave us a 2-month supply.
and that's the reason why I guess you see the increase in mature games then, because they're starting to build games for the audience that.
Although to be fair, PC gaming has always been an older person hobby.
Yeah,
Because there were a
but-
bunch of PC games magazines and some other stuff like that where you could clearly tell that it was adult oriented and
I
not
think the stigma,
kids.
The stigma around gaming back then, like that caused like PC gaming to be like the older thing, is because you could go into a store and buy your parts for your PC games, and nobody would ever know you were gaming. Like you would just
Sure.
be buying parts.
Right.
Then you would buy your games privately at your house. Whereas like you walk to the front with a console and people automatically know what you're doing. So me, I never cared. I mean, I just like, fuck it, I don't give a shit what you think of me. I'm buying a console. I don't give a shit how old I am.
Well, that's the way it should be, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't care
Yeah,
about what
just
people
the
think.
stigma back then that like people.
Well, it's the same thing. Comic books,
Yeah.
that's
Comic books will rot your brain. I remember that one.
and
Yeah.
anime, or you could say the same thing about a whole bunch of different things.
True, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering you stab yourself in the ear.
Yeah, I mean,
And Garuda, he's not saying that, because that's the reason why I asked him. He's not saying that gaming is only for kids or whatever. He's just saying that's what most people look at it as, and he's not wrong. I mean, the people that don't game, the adults that don't game, look at it as a kid's hobby or a kid's toy. I don't know why. I mean, they're just uneducated, I think, but. An Xbox guy or Halo or whatever, I think that whenever you say gaming's for everyone, I think that's where you gotta narrow that everyone down, because it's kind of proven that some people, like, games just aren't built for them, like kind of like the guy that played Cuphead. Gaming's definitely not for him. Or the person at Polygon that shot health packs. Gaming's not for that person. The person that took 5 hours in, what was that new remaster they did? It wasn't Okami. I think it might have been Okami HD, where it took them 5 hours of playing before they realized there was an options menu.
Yeah, the girl from the new girl from the Giant Bomb or Beastcast
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah. She played Okami,
Yeah,
and then she was complaining about one of the controls, and somebody was like, well, why don't you just change it in the menu? And then she
Which
couldn't
is
find the
one.
menu, and then it took her like
Yeah.
a while to get the menu. Yeah.
So, I mean, so that's the reason why you got to be careful when you say gaming's for everyone, because clearly it's not for those people.
Or at least those games aren't. Maybe maybe Bejeweled or
Candy Crush.
yeah, maybe those are better games for them. Get fucked, soldier. Ugh.
Yeah, the only thing that's ever going to stop me from gaming probably would be if my disease starts affecting my ability to,
Push the buttons.
to push the buttons. And then
As long as I can hit
look
X, I'm good.
I'll look into, those specially built controllers. But, I mean, I foresee me gaming for forever, really.
Yeah, me too. I think, I think we all go through that, though, right? Like, we go through those doubts in gaming where we're like, I don't know if I'm going to still do this in the next year or so.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
But,
I've been there several times.
But like I think I've told you guys before, like the Wii U really saved me from that. Like I almost just stopped gaming altogether because of the bullshit. And then I don't know, like I got a Wii U and it like switched my thoughts on it like immediately. I almost got rid of my PC.
That's really odd.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
out of all the consoles,
I know, right? I was
the
thinking
Insidious
that.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I
Of all
thought
the
that was good,
consoles
too.
to save you from
But, like-
gaming, it was the Wii U.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
I'd have been okay with you saying anything other than the Wii U.
It's just like if it wasn't for the Wii U, who knows? I may have sold my computer and gotten rid of my Steam accounts and shit,
Wow.
my Origins, because I was getting to a point where I was just getting jaded with it. You know, like you always heard
Yeah.
the negatives about gaming, you heard the negatives
Oh, yeah.
about the companies and their DRM practices and how gamers are at fault. It's like, dude, like gamers just got shit on during that time.
It's because of YouTube. Like when you upload a lot of YouTube videos and you're playing games to put the gameplay in there and stuff, it starts to feel like a job, and then it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the reason why now, like, instead of, like, if I record gameplay footage, I'll just, when I start the game, I'll just hit F5 to start recording, and then not even think about the recording.
Yeah, just let it run.
And just let it run. I've actually, like, forgotten about it to the point to where whenever I turned my game off, went to bed, and I woke up the next morning, and that son of a bitch was still fucking recording. Like,
24 hours of footage.
Yeah. And I was like, I will have to delete that footage because, like, the time that the thing gets put into my folder, my drive's gonna be completely full. But yeah, I especially like whenever I went through because I went through like a year where I just like every game was trophy, and it burnt me out like really bad. Like to where when I try to start gaming for fun, it was like really hard for me to get back into it. And then I just kind of slowly, I kept watching some shows on Netflix and then jump into a game and back and forth, and then got back to where I was capable of separating myself from not focusing solely on trophies. Because same thing with that. I mean, it ended up feeling more like a job than it did just the fun of gaming. But I did see one of the free PS Plus games for February. It's a PS3 game, but it says it's a 600+ hour platinum.
Whew.
And a lot of the trophies in it are luck based, like RNG based.
Oh,
And
fuck.
so I was like, that 600+ hours could turn into 25+ years.
Holy
Like
shit!
that. Like that would. That's like I can see the PS45 coming out, and he's still trying to platinum that PS3 game. Like, I'll get this done sooner or later. Like, no. I was like, I'll just.
You
leave
know
that
what
game
the
alone.
what the game is?
Man, you'd have to ask because I had it on the tip of my tongue. I was ready to say it, and then.
It's all my fault.
Let me see, because I mean, it's really easy to. Let's see, right there. Once this thing loads up, I'll.
'Cause I don't
be
know
able
a
to
whole
say
lot
it.
of games that
It's
have that long a
called
platinum.
Mugen Soul Z.
I've never heard of that.
MUGEN. Yeah, I've never heard of it either.
Oh,
But apparently this is the second
shit.
one because somebody said that they had Mugen Souls and they enjoyed it, but this one they might not play because of the fact that
It's just so long.
that's so long. She said that she actually has this game actually in the physical form on her shelf, and she said she remembers putting it in and playing it for a little while and realizing that it's like more of a grind than it is anything else. And so she said that's the reason why it's just kind of been sitting on her shelf for so long.
Interesting. Man, 600-hour platinum.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, I'm thinking like Persona 5's at 300-hour platinum, and that seemed long to me, but 600+ was, yeah.
Oh, July 24th, Chris. That's my son's birthday.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Yours is July 4th. It's either mine. My son's July 3rd, and I'm July 28th. That's like when perfection happened.
Yeah, totally, Rainbow.
Yeah. See, I'm just glad you agree. Let's see there was some other stuff. What was the other stuff?
Really, if you want my opinion, perfection happened in October.
Nah.
You know, except not so much the physical part. Like, you know, October left out a few like key physical deals.
So would that be perfection then?
Apparently, July did too. Just look at Rambo.
No, this is what perfection is supposed to be. Like you're supposed to get like crippled and everything else. Like I'm trying to come into the world as a baby and die like a baby.
Dude, it'll be perfection when I have a wheelchair that plays the John Cena theme song as I enter a room.
That would be funny.
Mine's gonna be playing that, and I'm rolling, and I'm rolling.
Well, yeah, that would probably. No, well, not probably. It would fit a wheelchair better, but everyone hates the John Cena.
Just because you hear it every fucking meme
Yeah.
or every meme video. It's like, and John Cena. They're like, dear Lord.
Like, instead of arguing with my wife, if I had a wheelchair that did that, I'd just leave the room and come back so it would start playing again. They're like, there's nothing I can say to you that's going to piss you off more than this wheelchair.
But you know what's funny is like you can make people jump when you like get near somebody, have a motion trip on it where like you get near somebody and they go, oh, he's going in.
Well, that's the thing with those stupid memes is that like most of them don't play any music and then whatever you'll just be watching it and then all of a sudden it goes John Cena like real loud. It's like Jesus, like right in your ear, and yeah, I hate that part.
Yeah.
Rambo, that's what makes it funny.
No, it makes it hurt my ears. I'm old.
Really,
Should tell
as
you-
long as I can still use my hands, eyes, ears, mouth.
As long as you're still alive.
So in
Yeah.
other words, as long as
It's
you can
like-
suck dick, that's good.
No, as long as I can, like, do those things, I'm good.
See? Told you!
Not that one.
Like you just
Oh.
keep it out, bro.
Speaking of sucking dick, have you seen Jamie since I left, Brim?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
So Gamer Dragon admitted to us the other night that he was sucking dick in like the parking lot behind my house.
oh dear God.
Yeah, like, I went over there to chill, like, the other night. I think it was, yeah, no, it was last night.
Yeah.
And, Jamie wasn't there, so when he gets back, I was like, hey, where were you? He's like, sucking dick in the Salvation Army parking lot. I'm like, what? For money or something? He goes, no, because I like sucking dick. I'm like, what?
He seriously needs like counseling.
And then, no, it gets better. And then he goes, well, guys, I think I might go to sleep because I got to get up at 10 in the morning for a threesome. I'm like, what?
Jesus.
How's he okay with that? Like,
Yeah, apparently it's like, it's a gay rule or something. It's okay.
there ain't no way I'd be okay with that shit.
I'd be
Gay or
killing some
not.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of
That's-
fact, that's what I told him. I'd be brought up on murder charges if I was in one of these relationships. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, and I'd probably start with like, if I was Metro, I'd probably start with Gamer Dragon,
Yep.
and then kind of, I guess I would. By the time, I mean, if you're trying to kill everybody you've been with, like you just might as well kill the entire like city.
Bro, I'd share my last dollar with a stranger, but I'll never share my woman. Nuh-uh.
Nope.
I believe the enemy has
Yeah, Chris, that's. I mean, they don't hire door greeters around our area anymore. And that kind of sucks though, because that's what I wanted to be when I got old as a door greeter at Walmart.
Dude, I'd probably be pretty good at that.
But now the Walmart by my house, I've learned that they hire old people, and you get to sit down in a fucking chair and do your job. Like it took this lady seriously today because I had to pay a bill, so I had to put $380 on this card, and it seriously took her almost 5 minutes to count $380 in 20s.
Wow.
Like it, yes. I mean, I was like going, "Oh dear God, please just fucking hurry!" Like, please, like
Right.
I just. She was like, one.
It takes me a minute, like sometimes, especially when it's my own money, because I want to make sure it's all there. But like, I don't know how people like, for instance, my wife, because she's an ASM at a retail store, so she just like licks her thumb one time, and it's like, $1,000. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so like if I'm like counting it out myself, if it for my money, if it's not the crisp ones, I'll just count like real fast. But if it's crisp ones, of course, I'll take my time and like make sure they're not stuck together. But This lady was like going like 1, and then landed down 2. I was like, oh my god! I was like, let me just do this for you because I counted it 3 times already. Like, just I'll count it for you one more time, please. What was funny is like I was in the Cash Express line, where that cash store in Walmart, and it was like way out in the end of the store, and the service manager came over and said, "Are y'all doing this? You come follow me." So she took a bunch of us over to the customer service desk where we just got in line with one person ourselves, and the guy behind me was like, he's like, we could have just stayed in that line. This is taking just as long as that line over there was. 2 people. Like, Walmart is just, like, the people who do the cash part and the customer service around my area, they're all like you're just waiting for the obituary to come because like they're that dead.
He's like, that's funny. Like,
Oh, speaking of old people dying, Stan Lee was rushed to the hospital yesterday. I saw his name trending on Twitter, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
That was on Wednesday. That was on Wednesday.
okay, then I'm missing a day. It was yesterday to me.
Yeah, everybody's like tweeting out, going, "No, please don't take Stan, don't." I'm like, I wanted to quote Twitter and go, "Guess what, guys? Old people die.
Not
It
Stan Lee
happens.
though.
I don't care. Like if he dies, like I'm not gonna care."
You don't like comic books, so I don't expect you to understand. But when
But it's not
Yoshida
like
is
he wrote
fucking
the-
limping around,
It's not like he wrote the comic book
excuse the fuck out of you.
a long
yeah.
time ago. You don't write him now.
Somebody doesn't understand fucking legacies around here. We gotta fix that shit.
You like
Yeah.
Spider-Man, do you not, Rambo?
Yeah, but I don't give a shit if Stan Lee dies.
It's
Oh
not
my
like he's
God.
had much to do with the comics in a good long time.
Spider-Man will continue on without Stan Lee.
Yeah, it will continue, but it would have never been a thing without.
Yeah, but
Stan
now
Lee.
that it is, we don't need him anymore.
What if
Shane-
your wife said that about you? Well, now that I got this dildo and a better paying job,
Oh,
I don't
fuck.
need Rambo anymore.
Well, I'd be like, can you at least send some money to me? Yeah, I don't. Whenever, like you said with Yoshida, if he dies, I'm gonna be like, okay, like who's next? Like, who's taking his place? I don't have any. I have no like connection with any of these people like that. So like them dying don't make a shit to me.
Bro, are you going against an Anna?
Huh?
Pete.
Oh, I was like, no.
Yeah,
I'm
there's-
sitting in my- I'm sitting in my garage.
Every time Pete goes in, man, I feel like he's getting Z'd.
I am. Wow, they had a whole fucking team full of bullshit, but that's all right. You win some, you lose some.
Remember whenever we played the whole team as what's that tank guy?
Reinhardt.
No, the tank where he actually transforms into a tank.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're talking
Where-
about when we all did the robot. Yeah,
Yeah, like that was funny as hell. Like we trolled the shit out of people.
yeah, that shit was pretty good. And like we were like, yeah, we're not gonna win this, and we ended up winning like 3 or 4 games in a row that way. Like, okay, so technically we shouldn't have won this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Bastion. Yes. Yeah, Chris. My wife luckily doesn't like to celebrate Valentine's Day, so I get off on that. I still buy her something small, but she always says that she has bad luck on that day. So because like I bought her a vase like one year she broke it. I bought her a ring one year she lost it. I bought her like so.
Damn.
Now she's just like she's like just don't buy me anything for Valentine's Day. So I just buy her like get her something small and
A chocolate.
yeah, just it'd probably spoil.
I know, right? Give her food poisoning or
Yeah.
something. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah.
Oh, and Sander, you weren't here, but I don't know if you heard, but Far Cry 5 with the season pass
Mm.
is going to give you Far Cry 3 on the current gen consoles.
A remaster?
Yeah, well, I mean, I imagine it's going to be like a remaster, like
Just a new set of trophies then. That's
Well, maybe
It's
freshen the graphics a little.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll look better a little bit, but not. It's not going to be like a Ratchet and Clank remaster or a Shadow of the Colossus remaster, but I imagine it'll still be better than what it is.
Like the Stick of Truth remaster.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, probably.
That's not too bad. But what is it? $100?
It's $100 for the game, and the Far Cry 5 and Season Pass. Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad deal. I think that's a pretty.
No, I mean you
decent
get
deal.
basically 2 games for it.
And the season pass.
Yeah, and the season pass for the content. I'm sure with the Far Cry 3, you're going to get like because the definitive version where you get all the DLC with it.
Yeah.
You know who that guy looks like? The boss. He looks like the guy from Wasteland. You ever watch Wasteland?
I never did.
Nope.
Oh man, like he looks just like him. I was like, yo, I wonder if that's the same dude. That would be cool. Cause that guy was a dick.
So Go Get, are y'all gonna do like a Skype sex call or something?
He's gonna make you play with him, Pete.
I'm not wearing any panties. You want to touch my toes? You're like, wait, what? What the fuck?
Oh, Xbox guy or Halo Storm did come in here earlier and apologize and say that he's actually done with the defending bullshit and shit like that. I told him that I know he said this before.
It's probably just because we won't engage with them anymore.
No, I mean like we had a big thing because this guy named J Dub on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Every time like he'll always tweet out something about like Xbox, and it's a joke. I mean, he'll always put a meme, and he'll always reply like to say Tim Dogs tweets with the meme or whatever. Everybody knows he's just joking. This guy has actually turned around and he's a PlayStation guy, but has turned around and actually gave away 3 Xbox One X's, a PS4 Pro, and a PSVR. Like just gave them away. And Xbox guy came in today into the tweet and was calling that guy toxic. And I was like, how the hell is that dude toxic? Like it's a joke. Like he's joking. Like everybody knows that he's joking. So I was like, there's people actually calling, being racist and all kinds of dumb shit with this console war. I said that's toxic. That's joking isn't. And he had a long exchange back and forth, me, him, and J-Dub, and then he came into this podcast here and had that. I guess throughout that, maybe he had like more of like an epiphany or saw more of like what he was actually doing. So, I don't know. I mean, he said he's going to change before, and he never did. So, like, I wish him the best that he'll actually go through it this time.
I hope he does. I kind of like. That's why I don't. It's one of the reasons why I try not to dismiss people like 100%. Like 95% they're dismissed, but there's that 5% that I hang on to that I hope that eventually they snap out of the stupidity. You know what I mean?
Xbox guy, like normally, like just talking to him, he's a pretty cool guy. Just whenever he gets into that slave mode, it's like, dear God. And like Chris, like he just said, he'll be in our other podcast doing it too. Like he'll come into Titan Calls podcast.
Jesus.
Do the exact same thing, and I'm hoping that we can actually just move on and him just be like a normal, like his normal self, because there's actually no reason to defend Xbox or PlayStation. Like you don't get anything.
You
out
sure
of
about
it,
that, Rambo?
I don't defend them.
Are you sure about that, Rambo?
Yes, I'm 100% sure I do not defend PlayStation or Xbox unless I'm joking.
Well, damn, you're a regular comedian, aren't you?
Aren't you so funny? You were setting that one up.
Yes, he was.
I have no, like, I just don't understand, like, the defending of it, because these companies don't give a shit, like, what you say on, like, in their defense. They're like, they probably sit back and laugh at your ass, like, dumbasses. You probably have, like, Yoshida, Phil Spencer, and whatever that Japanese dude over at Nintendo. They probably are all sitting there playing, FIFA 18 on the Switch, like laughing at the people online.
Yeah, they patched WWE 2K18 on the Switch. It still doesn't run.
Well, What does
So-
it look like?
The game is a little cartoony to begin with.
Yeah.
But so the graphics really aren't a problem for the Switch. I don't think. I think it's it can be more of a fast-paced game. So there's a lot happening on the screen at once.
Yeah.
Like there's the crowd and the ring.
Especially if you do
physics.
like a Royal Rumble or anything with that.
Yeah, with 30 fucking start.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it still is like, I guess it's a little better than a slideshow, but still comparable to one.
Oh, and do y'all know who Hebot is?
No.
No.
He's another Xbox defender. He really honestly believes, like, he says he started gaming like back whenever we started gaming, and he honestly believes like he just knows everything about gaming. Like this dude is like completely loco, and a guy that's actually like all he ever has done is like talked about Xbox because that's all he's ever had is Xbox. So he finally got himself a PS4 like not too long ago, and he's been playing Horizon Zero Dawn. And this dude just posted a picture of Horizon Zero Dawn on the Facebook, on the Twitter, and doesn't say anything. Just says he says, I'm enjoying the hell out of HZD, and that was it. Just this Hebot comes in and posts pictures of Recore and Rise, and talks about these are without photo mode. These, because these games don't have photo mode. Look how great they look, and just like constantly defending Xbox. And this guy was like, dude, what are you even on? Like, I never even brought up Xbox. He said, I'm an Xbox guy. He's like, I just now got a PlayStation. You're just defending it. You're just being dude is a fucking lunatic. It actually took the guy named Xbot448. Like, this dude's a full-on Xbot. He actually had to call Hebot out on this shit. It was that bad. It was like, dude, man, like, that dude was, I don't know, man. That dude is, like, wrong, like crazy in the fucking head, man. I think he was dropped one too many times as a baby.
As long as he's not another, what's his face? Fuck. God damn it, we were just talking about it the other day. T Reaper. There you go.
Oh.
As long as he's not another T Reaper, we're fine.
No, he doesn't go to the extreme that T Reaper does, but he will go to the extreme of defending Xbox that T Reaper does. He just won't go to the nasty shit that T Reaper does.
Yeah.
But he was trying to say Uncharted copied or borrowed or copied Gears of War. And I'm like, that's interesting. I was like, considering they were actually released a year apart, I could almost bet that Uncharted was being developed at the exact same time Gears of War was. So I can almost bet that they didn't really copy each other, because the final year of production really isn't time to go in there and start changing your cover scheme and all that shit. Yeah, I don't know, he's lost in his head, dude.
And other than them being third-person games, what's the same about them?
Yeah, there's really not. I mean, there's really about all there is. It's just they're both third-person games. That's it. I mean, now they did borrow from Tomb Raider. But
You lucky cunt.
definitely not Gears of War. And what's funny is he said they borrowed from. Somebody said they borrowed from Indiana Jones. He said, but the guy said Indiana Jones wasn't a game, and so somebody posted a game like.
This all shit is nonsense, because everything borrows from everything else.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's not an original game anymore unless it's an indie game.
And even those, a lot of times.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
well, most of those are, copied, but I mean, you might find, like, if you're going to find one that's completely original, it's going to be an indie game. Like, I don't know any big budget
I mean,
game
it's like
that-
movies. Every
that's gonna be
movie is
full
a remake of a remake of a, another story that was a
Oh, yeah.
book that was a, yeah.
And that's the crazy thing is you can go to the movies and you can watch the movie and you can see the other movie in it, but you still enjoy it for what it is because it's a different experience or a different take on the whole storyline or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know why everybody's like, I don't know why people go in these old modes. It's just weird to me.
No one can hide from my sight.
Yeah, Jay Caesar, I don't know. That dude's weird, man. That dude is like pure on loco. He was telling me the God of War on PS4
was transferred over or ported over from PS3 as a 4:3 ratio or aspect ratio. And I was
That's
like,
not the American. Oh wait, no.
4:3 is the CRT TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
No,
thing
I was
is,
thinking
though,
of
is that
PAL and NTSC.
yeah, but the thing is, though, is that God of War 3 didn't like whenever it launched on the PS3, which was the 19 by 19 like 19.2 or is it 19.2 or 19.1? What is it?
1920 by 1080.
Yeah, no, the aspect ratio, the
16 by 9.
16 by 9.
69.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it launched with 16 by 9 aspect ratio, and the reason why he was thinking that it was 4.3 or 4:3 or whatever because whenever you go in, like you have to go into your settings and adjust like on your both consoles and adjust your screen size. He hadn't done that on his PlayStation ever, and so the game whenever he booted it up, it was still like because you know how when you adjust it, it always starts out like really small and you have to make it bigger to get it fit. He had never done that. And so he was using that as his justification that it was 4:3. I'm like, dude, it doesn't even make sense. It wasn't ever in 4:3. Like they would have actually like remastered it and then demastered it. Like that would have just people are.
Aspect ratios doesn't determine though. That's the thing. Like I don't know what he's on about because there's games that are on PC that standard ratio for them is a 16 by 9. But sometimes the drivers fuck up and they force launch it into 4:3.
Yeah, and then you just change it back
And
and
you
no
have
big
to
deal.
change it manually, yeah. So
Yeah,
by that logic, that game is obviously a console port to PC.
Yeah,
From
from
like
the
the PlayStation 1 days. Like, come on.
this guy was he's on some like whatever he's on like
He's on that next level retardation is what that is.
Yeah, me and Shane, our doctors are not treating us right
I know, right?
because this motherfucker's on some like experimental shit.
Oh, come on, guys. You don't want to... you don't want to have better drugs?
Oh, Jesus
I-
fuck.
All you
yeah,
gotta do is act retarded.
I'll take 2.
Well, you can be... In your case, you better be doubly retarded.
I almost fit that bill. So
I
Yeah,
mean,
just-
you did stab yourself in the head
Yeah,
with a
I was
knife,
like-
so, I
We aren't too far off with Shane though. Like he's
mean...
see, the reason I did it was because like I couldn't stand the fact that Stan Lee was gonna die. So
that's what it was. He
Take
was
me
really
instead.
Here,
Cut,
God,
cut.
take me.
Is that gonna be the next, like, hashtag cut for Stanley?
We need to start it and see how many people do. No, our luck is, but with the internet the way it is, we'd be held liable.
Yep.
call it burns for Stan. Make people burn themselves to keep Stanley alive, like he did with like they did with PewDiePie.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah, but the way the internet works, we'd all be brought up on charges.
Right.
Like we tortured these people. Yeah, fuck you, Chris. Like you haven't seen a doctor in years.
Get fucked, Genji.
It's been years since I haven't seen a doctor.
Yeah, same here. I'm like on a revolving door with doctors these days. I wish that we could use some natural medicine around here, but here in Oklahoma, they don't believe in any sort of natural remedy.
Oh, the FISA memo was released.
Yeah, did you ever read it?
I downloaded it. I haven't actually read it yet.
What's the FISA memo?
It's a classified memo that apparently the FBI hid from the FISA. What do they call it?
FISA court.
Yeah, well, not just the court though, but also
the
the
FISA warrant.
also the what do they call those things in Congress where it's a group of them that oversee a particular area?
Oversight committee.
There you go. Yeah, the committee too, where it basically proves that the Russia collusion stuff was all just made up and paid for by Hillary Clinton.
Do you remember the memo that was supposedly leaked in a briefing, like in the White House, that Trump went to Russia and had paid hookers to pee on him.
Yeah.
And it was proven that Hillary Clinton and her team had this thing drawn up, this fake dossier drew up to trash. They were going to use it to trash him during the campaign, but she ended up not using it, but somebody else did. That's how it got out. Well, this memo was supposed to say that the FBI was filled with top-level people, were filled with so many anti-Trump people that they were actually using that known fake dossier to get FISA warrants and illegal wiretappings done on some of Trump's aides.
Mm-hmm.
And
To spy on them during
the
the campaign.
And that would have been enough. That would show illegal wiretapping, illegal. I don't know what something else or whatever, but
a whole lot of shit.
Or no?
Well, this
we
is way
don't know.
bigger than
We
just
don't know.
her.
This is-
But
Oh,
yeah,
this is like maybe a lot of people within the FBI are going to be brought up on charges. Now the Democrats didn't want this leaked, and they
Of course
said that
they
if they,
did.
yeah, because it shows that they were complicit.
How fucking complacent and retarded they are, yeah.
Yeah, then so they said that they want to release their own memo to tell the truth about that. Like, yeah, like we're gonna believe you. Like, you should have actually just led with that instead of we don't want the memo released. Like, because once you start saying we don't want to release, and then we're like, oh, we'll release our own and we'll tell you the truth. Like,
Yeah.
now that you're clearly covering shit up at that point.
yeah.
Fuck them, dude. I can't.
Yeah, this is getting pretty out of hand.
Dude, like this whole thing is out of hand. Like all because this is why I'm highly against left versus right. This shit right here. This dumb, petty, childlike behavior, man. I mean, they didn't like Trump so much they were willing to fabricate an entire story to get him impeached.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking like? Come on, man. Like, I know I'm not saying Trump's perfect.
No.
I would never say that. But Jesus Christ, if you're gonna get him on something, you gotta nail him good and make it factual. You can't just make up your own shit. I
What's
wonder
crazy
I
is
wonder
that-
if that explains why they were so unhappy during the State of the Union. Like a lot of those DNC members were just pissed, dude. Like they were mad as fuck.
Didn't they
Oh, yeah, they were
applaud one of them
scowling
though?
No.
Huh?
They were scowling the entire time. Like, everything that was good, like, even that shit that they would actually agree with,
They were pissed
they
about,
were
yeah.
still, they were still, like, pissed and not clapping. I'm like, damn, like, y'all will do whatever it takes just to go against Trump rather than actually, like, try to work with him. I'm like, there's plenty to be pissed at Trump on legally, or to fight Trump on within like the actual rules and shit like that and your morals. But when it comes to actually like him doing something good on your side, and you not
Or for
giving
what
a
your
shit,
side
that just-
stands for.
yeah,
Yeah.
that just shows that you don't give a shit about like your politics. You are just completely. It doesn't matter what Trump does. You're just gonna like he could give you what you want, and you would actually say no just simply because Trump said you could have it.
Yep.
He could
Yep.
literally say, "Okay, look, we are actually extending Texas down to South America. Now every Mexican is now a U.S. citizen. They don't even have to apply. They're just U.S. citizens." And they'd be like, "Nah, fuck that, man. We're building a fucking wall." Like, they're just so fucking anti-Trump that, like, he should actually start doing reverse psychology with them because he'd probably get what he wants, and they'd never realize that they were actually giving it.
Like the scowling though, dude. Like that shit. Like I said, I wonder if this had something to do with it because those motherfuckers. The only one that was clapping and he was half-ass clapping was Bernie.
Yeah.
Everybody else were like scowling, fucking angry, petulant children, dude.
Dude, and those
And I-
scowls were, man. Like, what's
They
the
were real, weren't they? They
Maxine
were
Waters, the black chick, and then who was the one? I saw the picture of him. The one sitting next. I think it was Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren next to her or whatever. But man, yeah, those scowls, man, those were deep.
I'm telling you, dude. I bet you this had something to do with it. The FISA thing, like I didn't even know about the whole FISA thing until you guys mentioned it. I bet you, what we witnessed with the State of the Union was because of this. This is why they were pissed.
Could have been.
Oh yeah, because they knew for a fact that Trump was going. Like Trump already said that if they can get it, if they could actually get it approved in the committee, that he would sign off on it to release it. Like he wanted the thing released, but of course they had to pass it the committee to get to him. And so I mean they already knew that. I mean it was like headed that direction that they couldn't really fight it being approved.
Mm-hmm.
So they were pissed about that, and of course the tax plan because it hurts Americans. Damn it! Like it puts more money in people's pockets. Like we don't want that shit. Like I don't know. They're fucking weird. But like these people are so towing the party line that they just. And that's the reason why. Like I hated it when Republicans did that to Obama. Because it makes no sense. Like if you're there for your base, and the president, even if you don't like him, is giving into your base, don't fight him on it just because of your hatred toward the man. Like you're supposed to be there for the people, not to fight the man. You know.
I feel like there's too many people in the Senate, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's way too many people in our Senate. Like these guys all have their own agendas. They get pensions for the rest of their lives. They don't have any respect for each other after like their first couple of years because now at this point they're established in their chair, so they don't feel like they should have respect for each other because they're making money off of us anyways, regardless what happens. Government shuts down, guess whose paycheck stops? Ours do, but theirs doesn't.
Yep.
You know, it's bullshit, dude. I was hoping Trump would already have the fucking term limits already written up and ready to pass, dude.
The only
That shit
problem
needs
is
to
that
happen.
It'd have to
The
pass
people that-
through. Yeah.
the people that he's giving term limits to. So I mean, that's like my wife told me today. She's like, Trump should just like sign an executive order, and if they close down the thing, saying that all the politicians get minimum wage until the thing's resolved. And I said he can't do that. She's like, yeah, he can. He's their boss. I was like, no. It's like our government is set up a way to where it protects against that. I said the only one that can actually adjust their pay down is themselves.
Which
And nobody's going to do it.
of course not.
And I said what? I said Trump could sign an executive order making that happen. I said, but then Congress would have legal grounds to actually impeach him because he overstepped his authority. I said, so I mean, it's crazy that these people have the ability to vote your own fucking raise in.
Yeah, that just does not make sense.
And it's just like our state. I told her, it's like our state here, we are actually literally on the verge of going bankrupt. And we're trying to pass the budget, and our state legislators are like, well, we're not passing a budget until you include a raise for us. I'm like, what? Like, if we're barely having any money, like, what the hell makes you think that you getting a raise is important at this point? Like, to me, I think that raises for Congress or even at your state, local house or whatever, that all needs to be done. Like Congress needs to put it like on the ballot and maybe get to vote on it during midterms and presidential elections, and vote like let the people decide if Congress has done their job enough to deserve a raise.
Or really, they could even just do it mathematically, where figure out some, like, you take like the median income from the mid-level employees of like, 10 different industries and average those all together, and that's what, whatever that number ends up being, that's what they get paid.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, do we understand this wrong or something? Like, are we missing something here? Is our understanding off? There's a reason why I'm asking that, because if a state's making less income than the rest of the union, the last thing anybody should be doing is getting a pay raise out of that deal.
Yeah. But the people in the state here,
Go figure.
we have no say so in it. Like, they just get to do it, and we suffer the consequences. And that's the reason why they want to counteract their raise. They wanted to raise the cigarette tax so that way the people that smoke can actually basically pay for them to have a raise.
Lovely.
Yeah, and we us as the citizens of the state, we just had to sit back and go, okay, because you couldn't. I mean, you can't fight it. And the same thing happens in Congress with the like they can't pass a budget, but I'm damn sure they can pass a damn like $200,000 a year pay raise. And I don't think that they ever deserve a pay raise.
No, especially if they could collect this budget without even working. Like, I don't see the point in this really.
And like if you think like so the president is a set salary.
Mm-hmm.
And the Congress should be a set salary because like whenever they retire, they get that salary for the rest of their life.
Plus
Plus all the
bunches
benefits.
of benefits. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's not a trivial thing either. Like it's
So they don't and they don't pay into taxes either. Like their income is tax free.
Is it
And
really?
so yeah, like they don't pay into Social Security or nothing like that. So their salary and then their wife gets I think half the congressman's salary. So like if they make $200,000, the wife is guaranteed $100,000 for the rest of her life.
And we thought this was right. Why? Like,
I don't ask-
when did our
we
country
never-
say that this was okay?
We didn't. They made the rules. It's the only job I know in the world where to vote your own fucking pay raise.
except for maybe you work for yourself.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, aside from that, yep.
Yeah. It'd be like what's funny is like I guess like you could own it's like owning your company going we're laying off 300 people because I need a raise. Like it just makes no sense. And like since I don't the reason why I don't think that is ever raised is because like if they're guaranteed their salary for the rest of their life, then there's no reason why they deserve more. They're already making more than the average American.
Well, see, that's why I'm asking. Like, are we missing something? Is there a step that we're missing here? There's got to be more than this.
No.
Seems like it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's really not. It's really that simple. They vote their own pay raises in, and we don't get to do or say shit about it.
Man.
And I
That
don't
needs
know.
to be applied to regular jobs then.
I know, right?
It needs to be applied all yeah. Just like I should be able to go to Social Security and go look. I think this year I'm going to take about $1,000 extra a month. That'd be good. Yeah. Thank you.
I voted
And they
for
can't
it.
say shit about it. Yeah.
I voted for it, and yeah, it was
It
a
passed.
unanimous decision.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
passed the House and Senate without a nay. I mean, it was amazing.
And that's fucked. Like, if president tries to overrule this shit, they could impeach him. That's
Yep, because that's not his
what the
place to.
fuck?
But he can't vote he can't vote himself a pay raise.
Man.
That's the reason why, like, I don't understand, like, why everybody like focuses so much on the president, because the president, sure, they can do executive orders, but like, it's still got to pass through.
The courts
The-
and Congress.
the
Yeah,
Supreme
there's all
Courts and
sorts of
Congress.
stuff.
And Congress really is the one that runs the country.
Yeah.
And so, like, we need to be more conscientious of who we vote in Congress than we do with the president, really.
So we can't just be like, yo, get the because I know for a fact Trump could get the military backing on this. Like if you did the military takeover, easy. Not to mention members of the Central Intelligence would back him on this too. Because I know there's a lot of people in Central Intelligence that are probably tired of the fact that they're risking their lives every day to save us, and congressmen and senators are just literally sitting on their asses doing nothing but arguing with who's fucking over who with the bill, you know?
Yep. And what's crazy is like I think the CIA, I think it was either the CIA or the FBI hasn't seen a pay raise in like a decade or something. But of course, you know who controls their pay raise is the Congress.
If anyone should get a pay raise, it should be the ones that have to carry guns and shit and go.
Yeah,
You know,
risk their lives. Yeah, that makes more sense. But our government's like, yeah, fuck it. Like we can't. Like we're in the whole $14 trillion, but I think we all deserve probably about another good $150,000 a year. What do you think, guys? Congress passed the bill today that's 517 to no.
Bro, the DNC or people in the DNC, especially on the left, that when they say pay raises, they look at it as, well, it's only a $150,000 pay raise. They don't take into consideration that's $150,000 times 20 or 30 or 10. They don't look at it as a multiplier. They look at it as a single situation.
And not to mention for every person for the rest of their life. Like,
yeah. And
I mean,
it only gets higher.
That pay raises. Yeah, I mean their pay only goes up, and they're guaranteed whatever it is whenever they leave for the rest of their life, and never have to pay into Social Security or anything. They've exempted themselves from everything.
Yeah, that was lovely. They exempted themselves from Obamacare.
I don't know how the Supreme Court don't step in and say, look, this is there's got to be something in the Constitution that
there is.
Use to stop them, but
there's what was it 2000? What year was Obama's first? Was that 2008?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2008. When Obama first got in, right? A lot of people hated him, a lot of people loved him, whatever. But it raised the amount of people that went in and lawyered up to their states to keep them from ever paying taxes for the rest of their lives. I think that needs to happen again. Because that trend has slowly died in California. Like California, it started off, state of Nevada, when I was working over in the casinos, it was a huge thing. I feel deep down that if this is where things are going, I think people should just lawyer up with what you can, with whatever money you have. From what I understand, you don't need very much of a lawyer. You can buy into a pretty cheap lawyer and just fight for your taxes. Like make it to where you don't have to pay any more taxes. Show them exemption forms to the government so that way they can't audit you. I mean, that's the only way you're going to be able to fight your government. Hit them where it hurts. Fuck them.
I don't know. I mean, the government is we have, to me, one of the most corrupt governments. Like we talked about, North Korea and shit.
Remember when we looked into that?
Ours is just
We're like number 3.
Ours is just corruption on another level. Like it's
South America was below us, man.
It's insane.
Like, when you see a third world country like South America, and it shouldn't even be that way. It should be like one of our own nations, pretty much. Should be ours. Rank lower than us in corruption, right? Like that. It doesn't make sense.
It's like because smaller countries would need more corruption in order to prosper. It seems like. I know there's so much money flowing through Washington that
I was watching a Trey Gowdy video today, and
I like him.
Yeah,
I think he's like everybody's favorite dude.
I'd vote for him for president for sure.
He was drilling the head of the FBI, and the FBI Advisor Council was with them, and they were actually telling this guy not to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like, I'm sorry, but that, like, shouldn't they be held in contempt?
They can. The original thing that, like, when you see those things like that, the original one is a request for them to come. Like, it's not a request they can deny, but it's a request nonetheless. But they can compel them to answer, but you'll never see the video because it's behind closed doors. The reason why they say that a lot of people refuse to answer is because it can divulge classified information, and of course all those things are recorded.
Yeah.
But they can because I saw one with Trey Gowdy and what's the other one like him?
You're talking about the Hispanic guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his buddy. I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, the Hispanic guy was actually grilling somebody from either the FBI or the DEA, and. He was like, well, and that's the person I was talking to, like my commanding person. He's like, well, your commanding person's in the room next door. He's like, he's getting questioned too. He goes, do I need to go in there and give him a subpoena? He's like, I goes, I just can't answer that. I don't know. He's like, all right. So he actually got like signed something at his desk, got up like out of his chair, walked to the fucking next thing, started questioning that guy, and then handed him a subpoena and said, "You're now like you have to come and answer questions. Like there's no taking the Fifth Amendment. Like it was.
Well, yeah,
like,
it's not a court,
Yeah.
so there's no right to
They can. Well, they can in the very beginning.
Right,
Like
yeah.
Like that first one, because like I said, it's a request.
But once they've done the subpoena, yeah.
Yeah, it's completely behind closed doors, and it's like it's full disclosure.
Mhm.
Like there's no.
And I'm sure there's something that when you get sworn in to be a congressman or whatever, that you sign something that says you are going to, if we ask these questions or you're subpoenaed or whatever the rule is, you have to answer, because that's not like you're just a regular citizen going about your business. No, you were part of the government. So if the government is asking you what you were doing about this, you better fucking answer.
Yep.
But
yeah, there was one that because I guess somebody he used the excuse because he said that, well, it was a request. So he just didn't show up. He didn't even let him know that he wasn't coming. He just didn't show up because he said it wasn't mandatory because it was a request. He's like, no. He's like, when Congress tells you to come, you come. You don't get to decide that it's not worthy of your time. He said, we're your boss. You come. And he goes, you know what? That's whenever he did another subpoena right there. He's like, I'll tell you what. He's like, you take this. He said, you come back and we'll do this behind closed doors. Well, you'll have no choice to tell me everything. Like Trey Gowdy and that Hispanic dude don't play around at all, man.
yeah, I don't know why Trey Gowdy doesn't want to be Attorney General.
But isn't he only? Aren't him and that Hispanic dude? They're only in the House, right? They're in the House.
I think so.
See, the Senate is above the House.
Yes.
So I'd like to see them actually the Senate majority. The Senate majority leader, because they would get shit done.
Or Trey Gowdy is head of the FBI or something. Yeah,
something. I mean, he deserves to be a lot more than. Well, I mean, I don't know, because there's nobody in there that's going to ask the tough questions. I mean, that's another thing, because it might be better that he stay there, because if he leaves, then the rest of Congress gives softball questions to the fucking FBI.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, Brim, I don't know, and Shane, I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but I wanted to make sure that you were up to date, because I know that y'all live close to California, and I really don't want to see y'all get beat up by a bunch of Hispanics and black people. But please do not use the word marijuana anymore. It is rooted in racism. We are asking you now to use the word cannabis.
I haven't called it marijuana since I was 12 maybe, so I think I'm good. Okay, good. I mean, I was kind of worried about y'all, and Then why the fuck would marijuana be racist?
This guy.
I didn't watch the video.
17 different, because back in the, I mean, it was weird. He's back in the 1800s, whatever, everybody smoked marijuana. And then during the Mexican Revolution, when the Mexicans came over, then they started saying the Mexicans were in the room smoking marijuana. So therefore it's rooted in racism because they didn't like the Mexicans. And so it's actually rude to use the word marijuana. I'm like, I can't it's going to get to the point. If you, I was telling Pete, if you look back in history, I'm sure almost every word that we have in the English dictionary was used in some sort of derogatory way towards a slave.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
That means that entire dictionary is rooted in racism, and so therefore, just saying hello, you're being racist. By their levels of connections, it's just so fucking far off that, and it really does a disservice because they're getting to the point where the KKK can actually go out and sometimes probably even lynch a damn person, and we're all just gonna go, oh, okay. Next video. Because like we're just being so desensitized to the word racism that we don't even really take it seriously anymore.
Yeah.
They do more harm than good. What these people are doing.
Oh, I hate the feminists with the rape culture hysteria and all that.
Oh yeah,
Because I
because
mean,
like
stare rape, literally looking at a woman, and they're calling it rape. Like
yep,
you
it's
got to
getting
be
to the
shitting
point with
me.
that, especially with rape. That when girls say that they were raped, you're just like, oh, you'll be all right. That's a sad. I mean, that's just sad that we're getting to the point where like these actual horrible things happening are going to become. They're not really going to become normalized, but they're just going to be. They're like the actual
For the
acts of them
common cold
happening.
nowadays.
Yeah, it's just going to be like a common cold. It's just going to be like, okay, you'll be fine. Big deal. Suck it up. I mean, hell, even the people that follow me that are complete lefties were actually agreeing with me that these people are just fucking lunatics. Like, leave shit like this alone because you're actually hurting the actual racism out there. Oh, and did you see Nassar, the dad that attacked Nassar? Y'all
No.
do know who Larry
Is that-
Nassar is, right?
That's the pedophile.
He's the Olympic coach that.
Oh, all right. Yep.
Yeah. Well, he had to listen to victim testimony, and the dad of two girls, after they gave their testimony, he asked the judge if he could say something, and he was like, he looked at that guy and he's like, "You son of a bitch," and the judge was like, "Oh, I don't mind you saying anything, but just please don't cuss and be respectful." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna ask you," he said. He said, "Can you order them to give me 5 minutes alone with him?" And she started talking. He goes, "Are you going to do it or not?" And she said, "No, I can't." He said, "What about 1 minute?" She said, "No, sir, I can't." And he goes, "Well, I'm going to," and he just takes off after him and gets tackled in court. And then later on, he came out and they brought him back out, I guess, to face the judge. And the judge he apologized to the judge and said, I have the utmost respect because I just lost my temper, and because he said there's my girls that he fucked over, and the judge was like, "How about we just call it good?" She goes, "I understand completely." She goes, "We just call it good, and you go on about your day, and the court thanks you."
Good.
Yeah. And somebody actually responded to like in a tweet, and I don't know, like the Blue Psycho, like it bothers me because like I wake up and he'll send me like a day's worth of tweets of what people are the stupid shit people are saying, and I'm like, there's just too much stupid for one time. Like you have to space it out. But The Rock actually, I guess, said something about this dad. And this person responded and said, "Hi, The Rock. I love you, but the point of jail isn't to have people get the shit kicked out of them. It's kind of a toxic view, and I think you're better than that." And somebody responded back to another verified account, WWE Scott Armstrong.
Oh yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, responded back and said, "You must not have a daughter."
Very true.
Well, that's
Yeah.
kind of the thing, right? Real criminals like murderers and rapists and the scum of the earth, they will beat the shit out of and kill pedophiles. So that should tell you something.
You would think, but these people literally believe these people they're okay. Like, they're just a sexual preference. It's okay. No harm, no foul. It was just sex. But one of the youngest victim of Nassar was 6 years old.
6?
Yes.
Oh my god.
And he was able to continue this from being a physician at the University of Michigan all the way through to the several years in the Olympics, like I think a whole decade or more. Like he has 265 confirmed women that he has actually sexually molested over the years as a kid.
Wow.
And a child cannot consent.
No.
They're yeah. They
That's
don't
ludicrous too.
possess the knowledge of wrong and right and all that good stuff.
That's kind of ludicrous to even think about consent.
Yeah, that's. I really hope that's just a troll, man. I mean,
Oh, fucking Widow.
Yeah, I get a little passionate whenever people like start being serious in that whole sense of consent and all that shit with kids. Because I'll show you what consent looks like if one of those were my kids, man. Because I'd be that father, but what's sad is that the father never actually made it to the defendant. Like he got tackled before he got there, which I would have loved to see him actually get a hold of him.
Yeah.
where did Brim go?
Did Brendan leave?
His mic's muted, and it's
Oh.
yellow for his status.
I don't know. Like he was there, and I mean, he just hasn't talked in a while. I just thought he was still there. So
An ice pick lobotomy would be good for a pedophile.
yeah, I'd be down for that. But I'd really like them to actually, like, instead of even cutting the genitalia off, just like burn it until it falls off, like with no pain medicine.
Yeah, cutting's way too quick.
Yeah. No, Chris, I don't either. Like that's the point to where. Oh yeah,
What is it?
pedophiles.
How do we keep going back into this topic?
Well, because Larry Nassar, the Olympics coach, you know, that was busted or whatever.
no, I
One
didn't
of
know
the.
about that. I
Oh,
knew
yeah.
somebody in gaming recently got busted.
Oh no, this is an Olympics coach. He's been doing this since he actually worked at the University of Michigan,
Oh boy.
and it was overlooked all these times. Like there was complaints brought before Michigan to the University of Michigan, and they all kind of overlooked him. Same thing with the Olympics committee. They brought the complaints, and they were just overlooked.
Yeah, probably because he was creating gold medalists.
Yeah, and so he's in court. The two daughters had just talked to him, you know, in the courtroom or whatever, and the dad was a little upset, and he asked the judge if he could have 5 minutes along with him, then a minute, and then the judge both said no, and then he just took off after him in court, got tackled before he got to him, sadly, but he got let go. The judge let him go and, you know, excused his behavior, and somebody in here, I don't know, he asked the question, what if the child consents, and he hasn't. Oh, okay. He said it was a joke or whatever, so I was like, well, I never saw that if he did say it was a joke or not, but it was like, that's one thing that we can everybody on this podcast can get a little bit passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, you don't even have kids and you're passionate about it.
Yep. Dude, like, what was that one guy that we had on the old channel? Who was like, oh, we should help those people.
Yeah.
And he was like, at least they're not taking lives. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, they're doing worse than taking life. They're making it to where their life was never normal again.
Yep. And they're taking it over a course of the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have, like, that's one thing I will admit, like, that's, That's actually one of the reasons why I've like for like the last year I've been trying to work on my knee-jerk reactions. Because I know I can get pretty knee-jerky reactions sometimes about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I'm trying to work on personally. I know I can get pretty heated over it. And,
But I mean, it's kind of understandable because I mean, you're talking about innocent kids.
Anything come above that one douche kid that fucking messed with your kid?
Not yet. They're waiting on the DNA. The what's it called? The officer tried to reach out to him a while back or whatever, but that kid immediately lawyered up. And he was actually in, I guess, honors classes, so he had a little bit of extra credits. And so he actually, instead of waiting till the end of the year, he actually graduated early and left the school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like it sounds like that because obviously my daughter didn't go to the same school, but probably the story went around quite a bit, and he was probably getting harassed up there at school, so he graduated and left. Yeah, JC's there. It's a pussy. Like if you're gonna, I mean, from what it sounds like, is it was like a stupid night. Like it wasn't like him, like from the text messages that they were sending. Like it sounds like he was on drugs or whatever, or taking something. And so it sounds like it's something maybe out of character from him or whatever, or something that he normally wouldn't do. But that doesn't excuse it. But I mean, he should just own up to it. But I mean, again, it goes back now to where, like he said, the police officer said, the detective says that he thinks the text message is good evidence, but he did warn that it's up to the DA, because if there's no DNA that comes back, the DA is going to probably could argue, well, anybody could have sent those text messages, from his phone, and so we really don't know if it's going to get prosecuted or not at this point. We're just kind of waiting. And actually, that daughter of mine is actually the one that's in the hospital now. She asked to be taken to the hospital because she started cutting herself again, because she's having some serious problems with dealing with this.
Wow.
Because she's not talking to anybody, and she kind of refuses to talk to people, and so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like she wants help, but then she doesn't want to accept the help. But this hospital, she thought she was going to go into the place where she was before, where they kind of gave her a lot of freedom. But I mean, obviously you don't have freedom, but as much freedom as you can have in a place like that. But she went to a different hospital, and these people are like, if you're not doing anything, you're sitting in a chair and you're not getting up. You don't get to roam around during the day. You get a 5-minute phone call once a day. And she doesn't get to leave out of there until she starts opening up to the doctor. So I mean, I'm thinking that this might actually be what she actually needs to, in order to get her to. I don't care if she talks to us, but I mean, or maybe we can go into an after, out of outpatient counseling, to where she'll actually talk to the counselor and get some actual help. Because from what I understand, rape is really hard to deal with. And as a young age and holding on to it yourself is really not the way to. Because I mean,
suicidal tendencies come in.
Yeah, a lot of grown women can't even handle, rape, let alone a 14-year-old girl.
That's crazy shit, dude.
Grew to what I was talking about. That's my daughter.
Yeah.
What we were talking about. Yeah, I almost don't want to be in the courtroom whenever we do go to court, because I'm gonna have to sit at the back. Because I'm like with you, my knee-jerk reactions. I'm not sure if I can sit back and listen to a kid or his lawyer try to blame my daughter for it.
Yeah, that's difficult shit right there. And I know for a fact if that was my kid, Rambo, you guys wouldn't be seeing me online for a long time. If at all.
No, I don't know where the kid is.
Get lucky him.
Mm-hmm.
No one can hide from my
Well, he graduated. What is he? 18 now or what?
From my understanding, he's 17. He just graduated early because he had enough credits because of honors classes.
You, under the circumstances with him being 17, you might get, like, I don't know, probation and a fine or something for beating his ass.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could stop it beating his ass.
I mean, they still have that whole try him as an adult thing anyways, right?
They do.
They have the ability, yeah. I don't know if they're going to or not.
If they could try him as an adult, though, then, I mean, getting his ass beat by an adult would, to me, that's about the same thing, so.
Well, I thought, like, if you get tried as an adult, especially in his case, he would have to register as a sex offender.
It depends.
Yeah, no, I mean, but with a rape, you would have to no matter what.
Yeah, if it was rape. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times where they put, it's not restrictions, but they'll put, like, conditions where even if you were tried as an adult and it was a rape, you don't have to register for the lifetime sex offender list if you were under 18 or under 21 or whatever it was at the time.
I almost, you know what, dude? I really believe that sex offenders and rapists truly have more rights than most people. Because there are sex offenders, Rambo, that are out there that are not only on a list, but they are on, like, the worst list, and their shit is protected. Like, they're actually, like, nobody could see them. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yep. That makes no sense to me. And yeah, Garuda, I think the women who lie about rape should get the exact same sentence that the rapist could have got.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, that's the biggest problem right there. Because, I mean, fuck. They have systematically eroded almost all due process in rape cases and all these other things. And yet, rapists still go free, and innocent guys get put in jail, and it's all bad all over.
Mm-hmm.
In every way it could be bad, it's going bad.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
The system is a joke of itself, dude.
It really, it's getting to that point.
I mean, we're still at a time where we have states legalizing weed, and yet the federal prison sentence is still higher than most manslaughter cases for just possession. Like, it's a fucking Monty Python of a joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you killed somebody? Well, you get 10 to life. You might be, you
Out
might
in
be
6.
on good behavior.
Yeah.
Out in 6. Yeah.
Parole, whatever.
Yeah,
Oh, you had weed? Nah, 25 years for you, bruh.
San Francisco is actually taking a proactive stance, though. Well, California as a whole is, but San Francisco is really taking a proactive stance. Since they've actually legalized the recreational use.
Mm-hmm.
Now, California has made a law to where any person with a conviction can petition the courts to have either their conviction overturned or reduced sentence because depending on what the crime was. Well, San Francisco has taken it one step further and saying basically any misdemeanor conviction from 1975 forward is being completely expunged and hidden. They're actually going to go back and look at every conviction, like every felony conviction, and if you were in there for like your first time offense and it wasn't a violent offense, like if that's all you're in there for is just possession or like the intent to distribute and that's your first offense, you're getting out of prison.
I'm fine with
And
that.
you're actually your prison sentence is actually completely wiped and expunged. Like if they
So
look
you don't
up
have
your
a record.
for a job,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I
that should be good because I don't think prison really helps anybody, dude. It makes it worse.
well, prison is to me like prison's not the place to go for drug offenses.
No, that's a really good way to get to make normal, just users or small-time pot dealers into hardened criminals.
Yep. I mean, is that how it starts? Is it's like every stereotype you hear about a thug, Oh, I went to the pen for possession and an attempt to deal. He walks out. He's already taken 2 lives in the prison because he had to join a gang to be protected. I mean, it's fucking crazy. We create more monsters than fucking cure and help. So
No,
I'm glad. I mean, this is probably the one good thing about California, man. This is the one good thing about California that's happened so far.
I do fully believe though, like the ones that are there with the hardened drugs, like man-made drugs. I do think that those, like the big time drug dealers, like they need to be in prison.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause, like,
well, yeah, that's why they said pretty much anything with a misdemeanor, right?
Yeah, but and even a felony, but like as long as it's just marijuana that they are in there for.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like marijuana. I don't see a reason why they're in prison for marijuana. Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like they're talking about marijuana being the gateway drug. Like no, prison is. Because prison's like where
True.
you're going to get introduced to every other drug.
Yeah, from my understanding, drugs are easy to come by in prison.
I think they're more prevalent in prison than what they are on the outside.
Probably.
And did you hear about the Baltimore Police Department?
Mm-mm.
So much corruption there over the years. Like 7 police officers pled guilty. Well, 5 of them pled guilty. 2 of them pled not guilty. But to where they were actually illegally arresting people, taking their drugs and money, and then turning around and selling them back on the black market and making a profit. Like they even had bail bondsmen selling drugs for them.
Wow.
It was like they were putting in to where their typical paycheck was like $74,000, but they had so much overtime their pay every year doubled that. And then they said there was repeated times where they were one officer would take his car and speed just floor it at people in the street, and whoever ran, they would get out and chase them down, pat them down, take their drugs and money and let them go, so that way they can sell it. There was actually one instance where they stopped and frisked somebody, took his house keys, went home to this guy's house, broke into his house, took the money out of a safe. There's $200,000 in the safe. They took $100,000. They found some drugs. They took that. Then they closed the safe back up, and then they started filming and acting like they never touched anything. Like they pled guilty to this. Like the FBI actually caught them.
Bro, isn't the FBI so? Wait. The Baltimore PD. Isn't
Yeah.
that the area where that female cop pulled over a fellow police officer for speeding, and they harassed and ridiculed her every day?
I don't remember if that was Baltimore, but I remember the story. But I can't remember what state it
I
was.
wonder if it's one and the same, dude. Because this woman was fucking harassed, dude. Like, she ended up getting a restraining order because it was a Metro cop, if I remember correctly. And they looked at it as a high. Oh yeah, she was a sheriff. That's right, she was a sheriff. Oh, I wonder, dude.
Baltimore's no joke. That's like the heroin capital of the United States. I mean,
Man, that is insane. Cause I remember seeing the video. She pulled this motherfucker over. The dude's fucking freaking out and confused because he was late to his part-time job or whatever. Because he does a cop as a full-time thing. And he has a side job.
Yeah, but I mean that Philip DeFranco said. He said, with that much corruption and it going on for that long, he said, how can you trust the rest of the people in that department?
Right?
Better yet, if that's just one area of our country, imagine how many other areas in our country that are just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah, that's actually doing that too. Yeah.
I think the FBI has been put on the spot for so long. They're trying to do what they can to reestablish themselves in the public eye,
Yeah, probably the repair their image. What's funny though is that like the cops were like 2 white guys and 5 black guys. But of course, I mean, there's probably going to be somebody like Tariq Nasheed that's going to point out that the 2 white guys were so much of a white supremacist they made the black guys
Yeah,
do all
yeah.
this stuff.
It was their fault.
Yeah.
The black guys, they couldn't help themselves. They were just caught up into it by the white dudes.
Oh man, I don't know. That's just creepy to think about. Because this area where I live has gone through, since I moved back in town, back in, well, I want to say 2004, 2005. This place was going through a massive cleanout. They cleaned through the police chief shit and the whole office down here, and things were looking good again. You know, and then I don't know. I guess corruption's just so easy, dude. Like, if they even feel a hint as to like they're not gonna get in trouble, they're gonna do it. You know.
When you have that much power, I mean, because they say the cops really don't have that. You know, that they try to tell you that cops really don't have power. They're. I mean, they really do actually have more power than the regular citizen. And I mean, some of that. I mean, just look at like what happens in like just some Facebook groups. When somebody becomes an admin, look what happens. Like they all of a sudden like you feel like you're in Nazi Germany. You know, the way that person runs it. Now take that person and put them with the cop uniform on.
Yep.
And it's I mean, that corruption's just the tip of the iceberg with them.
Yep.
Oh shit, that was fucked up.
Well, he's playing Overwatch, so that's one thing about when you start playing a multiplayer game like Wednesday when Brim was playing PUBG or whatever it was, that like multiplayer games, like you get sucked away onto that instead of looking at like talking to the.
Yeah, I can't read the chat. There's no way to. I don't have my second monitor, so I do need to get one.
Well, I guess that's what I could do, Chris. I could like, if I move into a house that doesn't have a bedroom, like a room for my setup, is that if it has 2 bathrooms, I'll tell my wife like, look, I'd take the bathroom. That way, I don't have to go far to shit.
I was gonna say, dude, you can just like plant your ass right on the toilet and never move.
Yeah, just sit there naked and just whenever I feel the need, just boom, I just.
Are you kidding me, Rambo? That.
I can wipe once a day when I go to bed.
Terrible.
I mean, he'll have the worst hemorrhoids in the world. But...
Yeah, or just roll over into the shower.
This motherfucker. This podcast, he's talked about using a toilet as a gaming chair. Fucking paying for old boxes. I'm done.
Jay Caesar, I would love to get it on Xbox, so that way I could get Shane to play.
What?
But if I could get it on PS, I mean, I want to get it on almost anything that I can possibly get it on personally. Because I don't have PlayStation Plus yet, and I got friends that want me to play on there with them so badly, and I'm just like, I don't have PlayStation Plus, guys.
Dude, I've never had PlayStation Plus.
But I love Monster Hunter. I played all the originals.
I have.
I just love the series. But I do plan on double dipping with that game though, so I'll probably end up getting it on a sale for PlayStation, and then when I get my taxes, if I have anything left over after the equipment upgrade I'm going to be going through, that should be good. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
I love doing the upgrades. Like, it's always fun to go out shopping and then putting it all together and seeing what it all comes out to be.
Well, there's a music place that's just right up the street from me. I've never been in there, so I'm thinking about going there first and seeing what kind of deals I could get them to cut me. Because
wait, where's the music place?
It's in that little shopping mall like strip thing over across from Safeway, where Boost is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess there's one in there. Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out and see if they have any mic equipment. They should. But the moment I see a mic that I want and it's like overpriced, I'm gonna be like, okay, go to Amazon. Could have matched
Yeah.
the deal, but no.
Those places are typically overpriced. Shit, even Guitar Center is overpriced compared to what you can get it online for.
Yeah.
But the thing is like I don't mind supporting my local businesses. You know what I mean? Putting money into the local businesses, like that actually helps them a lot. And
Yeah.
like if it's overpriced by like $10 or so, I won't care. But like if it's like a $200-300 markup, which some of them are, like they did, like all over Vegas, it's like that. It's like I remember when I went to Vegas and I checked out their stores. The last one I went to was a little mom and pop shop, and they're selling Audio Technica gear at like $100 markup to $200 markup. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm really hoping it's not like that if I go over there this time around.
What's funny is you can go there and on the strip and find a T-shirt that says like Vegas or something like that, and it's like $40, and you go outside of it, and you still get that same T-shirt that says Vegas for like $10. It's like,
Yep.
why buy shit on the strip? Just like drive a little bit out of ways.
Uh-huh. Not to mention all their Vegas shirts all look alike. Different
Yeah,
colors.
they do.
They're different colors, sure, but like they're all practically the same shit.
Mm-hmm. It's like they just the same design, and then just said, "All right, give me a pink shirt, white shirt, green shirt." I mean,
Pretty much.
I've never known, like, I've never been one for, like, the only time I've ever actually worn a sweatshirt with my area name on it is because it was a custom design. Like, it was a really badass drawing or something that I really liked, I'd wear it.
the
I
only
could
time
overlook that. But I don't normally wear anything with my state or city on it. It's kind of weird to me.
I mean, I never have worn anything with like my state or city, but the only thing I've ever actually worn that was logo-wise like that is a Disney sweatshirt, because we were there, and especially with my problem, like I'm really sensitive to cold, and so we were out there, and when we first came out there to Disney, it was like pretty damn warm, and everybody knows about California, so it's like it's the most fucking bipolar fucking place in the world with weather. Like, you need 17 different layers of clothes and jackets to decide what to wear every minute. So it was like towards the evening hours, and it started getting like freezing, and I was ready to go, but the kids were all like, "Oh no, we want to go here, and we want to go there, and we want to go here." So I paid like $60 for a fucking Disney sweatshirt, just so that way I could stay there, because I'll never wear that fucking thing, because it's the ugliest fucking sweatshirt that ever lived. I mean, we laugh about it today because it's still hanging in our closet. I'm like, I won't even wear that son bitch to bed because it's fucking that ugly. Like, it's just, I'll be scared.
If you
like
ever
I'd
run
die
out of
in my
toilet
sleep.
paper,
Exactly. I don't know. I don't even know if I'd wipe my ass with it. It's that ugly. But I'm scared I'm gonna die in my sleep, and then they're gonna find me in that damn Disney shirt. Like, babe, if I wear this to sleep and I die, please change me before you call the police.
Please, I promise I won't die laying on my back. I'll
Yeah.
be sitting up, okay? I'll try not to shit myself, I promise.
Brim, check your message, Brim.
what's the
On
message?
what message?
I don't know. JC just says done. Check your message, Brim.
On what? Discord?
I don't know. That's all he said.
Mr. J? Is it on Discord, sir? Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Xbox. Oh, okay.
Or Twitter? Oh no, Xbox.
Yeah, Chris, I hadn't drank in probably 7 years, and we went out to my wife's Christmas party, and I drank that night, and I woke up with, I mean, I didn't feel like even back to a portion of me until like the actual next day after the hangover. And I mean, the only time I've ever woke up and actually swore I was never going to drink again and actually mean it. I was like, never again, fuck this, nope. And my wife did too. She was like, I'm done. Like, no wonder we quit drinking like so long ago. I was like, yeah. fuck this drinking shit. Like, that's just for the birds, man. I was still drunk for like half the next day.
Yeah, I haven't really like drank in probably a decade. 'Cause that's how long I've been treated for what's going on with me. And this, you know as well as I do, this medication and alcohol. Fuck.
Yeah, but I took my 3 pills of my Dilaudid that night and drank.
I'm surprised you're still alive.
Yeah, probably. That's probably a good mystery.
Caesar, did you send it?
I drank a lot that night, and
Yep, he did.
You did?
Yes, he did.
did he buy it?
Yeah, yes, he did.
Wait, you just bought them?
Holy shit! Dude, you didn't have to do that! Jay, you didn't have to do that, man. I really appreciate it, though. Holy fuck.
What did Jay do?
Well, Jay, the gift option's not on PlayStation, but
Oh,
I mean-
my God.
I mean, come on. Just kidding. Like at this
That
point,
is fucking amazing, dude. You did not have to do that. But again, I really, really thank you, dude.
at this point, even if PlayStation added gifting, there'd be like nothing people could gift me.
I know Rambo's a hard motherfucker to shop for. I've kept my eye out for something to get him for a while now. He's talked about that. I know he's got that.
Oh no, Jay Caesar, I was actually like kidding. I don't really know. It's really
Caesar,
weird
trust
for
me, he owns everything, bro.
it's really weird for me to get things
Oh my
given to me.
God,
So
dude, I'm so fucking, dude, I'm ecstatic. Thank you so much. I've loved Monster Hunter since the PlayStation 2 days, dude. I've played every single one of them. I even played the second one that never made it to the US. I'm shocked as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I am so like at a loss right now because I have been looking forward to this forever.
Oh wow, Gears of War 4 has an update. I wonder what that's all about.
Yeah, so nobody's gonna see me on a podcast for at least like a month now.
how big is the update?
I don't know. I just got to download the Fortnite one first, which is probably fucking huge.
Well, at least Fortnite's actually changing, you know.
Yeah. And the Upload Studio has an update too.
Well, we're gonna have to go on hunts together now, Shane.
Huh?
Oh,
Yeah?
Hunts on what?
Monster Hunter?
Oh yeah, okay. I've never played a Monster Hunter, so
Think of it
Yeah,
as Kabbalah's
new.
hunting, but with swords.
think of it as what?
Kabbalah's hunting?
No, never played that either.
Really?
My weeb knowledge is very little.
That's not weeb!
Anything with like, based on an anime or
They're not
is
based on
kind of
anime.
Asian.
Well, Kabbalah's is like deer hunting, hunting bears and shit.
Oh, alright.
You never played like the Deer Hunter game you bought or got for us a while back? You never played it?
Oh yeah, no, I played it, and once there's a walking simulator achievement in that one too, and I'm like, that's it, I'm done. Really, like, and it's a rare achievement too. You have to walk 5 miles in the game. I'm like, oh, I'm done.
on which one? Which game?
It's a deer hunter game. It's one. It just came out not that long ago. Let me see what it's called. I think it's
Oh,
called
that-
The Hunt, actually.
The hunt or the hunter or whatever the.
Yeah.
Oh, the game that Capcom made that was based on Pete that we were talking. Where I was trying to remember it. All I can remember it was like Dark Horizon. It's Dragon's Dogma.
Hmm.
Did you ever play that?
I never played that, no.
Ah. Jay Caesar just ended my life. Like, I am forever gonna be just on this. It's kind of what I do when it comes to Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Freedom United, when we discovered that you could do the workaround on the PlayStation 3 with the ad hoc party thing. Like I was doing that shit before they actually released the ad hoc party software.
You lucky
in
fuck.
English. That's how dedicated I was to Monster Hunter even back then. So, the Wii U Monster Hunter I couldn't get into. I don't know why. There was just something about it that like I just didn't care for it that much. But this one,
Oh god damn it.
got me all kinds of moist.
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 Uh.
No. I didn't say you did. I was just saying I'm gonna spend so much time on this game. It's ridiculous. It's just all I was saying.
Now his wife is gonna punch him.
Yeah, my wife's not gonna be too happy with me. She's gonna be like, "So, what you been doing all day, Monster Hunter?" Really? Yeah. Love you. Toodles. Now leave me alone, woman. I have a raft to kill.
So what platinum are you working on now, Rambo?
I was working on Knack. I just beat it on hard, and now I have to beat it on very hard, and then also unlock all the different types of Knack. And there's one called Diamond Knack, which when you open these chests, you either get a part
Oh damn it.
for one of the gadgets,
Hold at 'em
or
all.
you get a gem. And diamonds are really hard to come by. And so he said, this guy said he played through the game 3 times on hard, because every time that you play through, say I played on hard and I beat it, well, I can continue and play again on hard, then everything that I earned from the previous playthrough will still be there, so all the different chests I open up will just continue to add to what I already have. And so this guy played through the game 3 times on hard and still never unlocked Diamond Knack, so he started farming it. He said whenever you open a chest, something will pop up, and then you have to hit X to, I guess, accept it. He said instead of hitting X, you have to log completely out of the game, close the application, launch it back up, and you'll start at the beginning of the chapter, and once you work to yourself to that chest again, it'll be a different item. And you just keep doing that until you get the gems that you need. Or there's an actual game, a mobile game, that you can play, and it's like a Bejeweled type of game, but whenever you win on there, do something on there, whatever, you'll get gadget pieces of parts of the gadgets or gems, and you can actually send those to your PlayStation account. And that was another good way to farm, because I could be out here playing that while we're the mobile game while we're on the podcast or something, or while I'm out and about, I could be playing it. The only problem is that app was not updated to iOS 11.1. So I have to do the reloading of the game over and over again, and so that one's going to take me a little while. So
Just get an Android.
I'm finding I'm going to run out and spend another $1,000 so that way I can play.
Well, if you'd bought an Android, you wouldn't have spent $1,000.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I'm actually when I get my taxes back, I'm switching phone plans and phone, so I'll be switching over to an Android.
If I were you, I would sell that on a. They have a phone selling app.
It's not mine though.
Oh, it's not.
No, because I did that with my plan. With your plan, you pay a small portion down, $200 down. And then you pay $32 a month for the phone for the 2 years, or
Gotcha.
after a year you can trade it in, and the next phone is $32 a month, but you don't have to pay the money down anymore. And so this phone technically still belongs to AT&T, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna pay
return
my.
it to them and be like, "Here you go, I'm done."
No, I don't even know if I'm gonna return it to them.
Ah.
Let my daughter play with it, or my granddaughter.
You can use it as a good dude. Those are good cameras. Use it as a vlog camera.
No, my camera's fucked up. My granddaughter dropped it because I let her play with my phone, and that little glass part around that's on the outside of the camera cracked. So it takes shitty pictures now.
Oh man.
No one can hide from my
So I'll just let my granddaughter play with the phone. She loves this phone. She won't like. She doesn't want to play with anybody's phone besides mine. And I can't wear a beanie anymore because every time I do, she takes it off and wants to wear it herself.
Yo, Monster Hunter's a pretty small game, yeah? Like 13, 14 gigs? That's pretty good.
Yep. I thought Monster Hunter was like a big open
Oh,
world game.
fuck you.
It is open world.
It's open world in a sense that, like, when you go hunting, it's open world. And it's all instanced off, so you go into one area, you hunt what you gotta hunt, then you go into another instance area, but it's all one big map. And that's where I was, like, telling you, Rambo, like, sometimes these creatures will go into each other's worlds and kill each other. Like, they'll hunt each other and shit, it's crazy. So, like, you'll be hunting a Rathalos, and something else bigger than it can come in and fuck with it.
Will I still get to like count for the killing of the Rathalos if the character does it?
As long, I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with that.
You can still carve it. Yeah, you can still carve it and get what you need.
Be like, that's cool that like I don't even have to hunt. Just like piss an animal off that hates the animal I'm about to go hunt, and then just sit back and just watch it happen and say thank
See
you.
that? That's called strategy.
Yeah. Chris Snack is a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I don't know if I can play through it like 17 times to get what I need, but it's a fun game. Like I really enjoyed the platforming.
Yeah, I enjoyed what I played of it.
I mean, it says it's listed as a 7 out of 10 platinum difficulty, but I think that's because of all the times you have to play the fucking game. And hard is fucking hard. And
Good shit, Garuda. I hope that puts those motherfuckers in their place. I hope they shut the fuck up after you tell them that. Did you read that, Rambo?
no, but I mean, I'm trying to figure out like what he's replying to.
Something about people judging him or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah. Well, good shit there, though.
Yeah, man. I mean, if people don't know, they need to shut the fuck up.
They judge you in regards to what?
I'm gonna just assume anything, really. Because, in fact, Shane, you just recently went through somebody judging you.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy.
Shane here just recently was a victim to somebody judging him from a profession that should carry no sort of bias whatsoever. You're a doctor, you're supposed to help people. You're not supposed to immediately demonize them.
Yeah,
No, that happens a lot with.
yeah, I'm sure Rambo's been through it too. Like I went to my regular doctor's appointment and she wasn't there. She had a family emergency or something. So instead of like seeing her, they tossed me one of the other doctors that's on staff there, and the dude just like totally treated me like scum. Didn't do anything. He looked at me and I, asked me what I was there for, and I told him it's a normal monthly appointment. And I said, she knows she normally does this, this, and that for me. And he goes, nope, and walks out and says he doesn't have a license to do that. I'm like, really? Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I've
But that's
experienced that.
his doctor's office. That's the funny thing. He actually owns the building.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he said it just like that, no, and walked out the door. I was like, okay. And I have to pay money every time I see the doctor. So that was money out of my pocket for the word no and judgment.
And that's where that knee-jerk reaction thing would probably have came into. Yeah, I got judged, but I didn't know I did. But my wife parked in the handicap or whatever and let me out to go and stop. And while I was in there, somebody I guess saw me go in there and came up to my wife and started reading her the fucking riot act about me parking in the handicap and shit, that I wasn't truly handicapped and didn't need it and didn't deserve it. And of course, my wife yelled at him, but she's like, she never like they came into GameStop, I guess, while I was in there, but she never let me know anything happened until after I got in the car because she knew that it probably wouldn't have been a fun little thing because I would have had a few little words for them in the store.
Yeah. People, man, I don't know. That's, it's like I said, man. That's why I'm working on my knee-jerk reaction shit. Like I'm trying to be less. I want to be a little bit more logical before I come in. I want to choose my battles wisely. Before I used to just fucking go all out and just say what was on my mind. And then a couple of those times I was actually wrong in. So it's like, okay, you know what? I need to relax. I need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah, I know I do, but like whenever like that, like not only were they judging me, but they were also giving my wife hell, and that like to me, like I didn't even give a shit about judging me, but you gave my wife hell for no reason. Like, that's where
the line has been.
Yeah,
drawn, and,
I'm like, nope. She wouldn't tell me though until we were driving off. Then she was telling me, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why didn't you tell me while we were there?" Like, fuck. I wish I would have been outside and that shit happened. Like the 5 minutes.
Oh! Oh, please! 6! Yes!
See, Pete actually was throwing his pants. Is what happened.
It's like all 6
We're
fingers.
about to see it coming
Oh
up.
shit, he killed a Korean. And the whole team, actually. Okay, nice
Yeah,
shit.
he team wiped. Yeah, he team wiped.
Oh, fuck me, man.
You see that, Metro? If you watch this, that's how you play Overwatch.
This is how you play Reapers, fuckers. And people wonder why I only play Reaper.
Yeah, go get it is your Australian accent. You don't have a speech impediment. It's your Australian accent.
Oh, please, please. 2 in a row.
Damn.
Did he just do two team wipes in a row?
I just did 2 team wipes in a row. Although the second one I don't think counted as an actual team kill though.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't it was too long killing the last one.
He did just clean house, though. Fuck.
Fucking Pete farming.
And
players.
I don't-
What's wrong with you?
I still haven't died once.
That's pretty funny. I think they're feeding you on purpose, Pete.
Oh.
If you guys didn't know, Pete is farming gold medals.
Yeah, can never have too many of them.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Got back up in health.
I did buy a label maker today, though, so I can label my cables.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, because I bought all the same exact cable for every HDMI thing that I have, is different links. And so when I look back there, all I see is just one cable that's just knotted up in a big mess, because it's really not, but I mean, that's what it looks like. And so I need to label them so that way I know exactly what the hell I'm plugging in. Instead of just plug in and go, okay, is that
Oh,
it? Nope.
damn it.
Next thing.
Finally died.
I would like to figure out how to like hook my PlayStation 1, the GameCube, the Atari, the Nintendo and Sega all to like one Switch or whatever, and so that way I can actually play everything on my current TV that I actually have.
Yeah.
Through converter boxes and stuff, I'm sure you could. You would have a pile of hardware, but
Ah.
Yeah, there's one that Cyrus pointed me to from this channel. I forgot what the hardware was called, but he was telling me that that's really like the best thing that you can get for like, because the 240p from PlayStation 1 doesn't really transfer over that well to HD, and so this guy has this special box for it, and it's like $400. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really that interested in playing it in HD.
you know what you should do is just go get a CRT TV at a thrift store, like a Goodwill or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
you got
getting.
one.
Yeah, I'm
You
getting
got
that tomorrow for $25. The guy at the game exchange, he said since y'all are in here so much, he said he did it for one other customer, but he said he has to go to the storage tomorrow to pay the bill, and he said he'll get one of the old CRT TVs out of there that like they used to use for displays, and clean it up for me and make sure everything, all the inputs and everything are working. Sell it to us for $25.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna get tomorrow, and I just gotta be able
make
to
your
find
son
fucking.
carry it. Those things are fucking heavy.
I'll have to because I can't carry it. I'll have to find room for it though. Like that's the problem.
Ah, damn it.
It'll be worth it though.
Yeah, and I'll have to find a converter for the unless it's like a really super old TV for the Atari because most CRT TVs don't even have the RF connectors.
That's just a coaxial cable screw, right?
No, this one actually hooks into your antennas, like the little.
Oh, the two-prong thing where it
Yeah, the
screws-
antenna
oh,
screws,
shit.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you
Coax,
can get a
yeah.
converter for that.
Yeah, there's a way to transfer it over to like the cable kind, but just trying to find it though, and a good one to make sure that I get the. I don't want to just get a really super cheap one and end up being like a shittier product. So I got to figure out which one's good, but not gonna break the bank good.
Yeah.
Oh, and Yakuza 6 is gonna come out right around God of War.
Oh shit. So you're gonna be broke about that time?
I've already got God of War purchased twice.
Ah.
Go get.
I
I had to smack you. Okay, what's a CRT TV? Is what he said.
It's a CRT TV, a cathode ray
Tube.
tube television.
Big old fatback TVs.
They weigh their price in fucking glass for. That's why it's so heavy. It's that whole thing is fucking glass. It's ridiculous. And how much glass they use just to make one of those things is ridiculous.
I Minecrafted one of those TVs once with my grandpa. It was amazing. Let me explain.
I'm like, I gotta hear this.
Like my grandpa, I want to say maybe 7 or 8 years ago, invited me over for a beer, and I was drinking Budweiser with him, and I was like, he always held on to everything. He's a fucking pack rat, and I was like, Grandpa, you got like 10 of these old TVs in this garage. Do they even work? He goes, yep, every single one of them, and one day I'm going to use them. I was like, no, you're not. Come on, you've had some of these since I was 5. And he goes, well, is there a particular one in here that just you think doesn't belong in here? So I pointed to one, and he goes, yeah, that one is still kind of old, and it was one of the ones with the antenna screws. And he goes, you want to take it out back and break it? I was like, all right. So 3 or 4 more beers, and I thought it'd be a good idea to hit it with a pickaxe.
Oh.
Well, CRT TVs explode when you hit them, dead in the center, and the front where the glass is. And I had fucking glass all over me, made a fat ass noise. It was crazy, but
Yeah, we used to, as kids, drive up in a, like when we was riding our bike, if we saw somebody put a CRT TV out on the curb, we'd take rocks and throw it at it until it busted because it sounds like a fucking explosion.
yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. The handle on a pickaxe is not very long.
No.
I didn't know they exploded.
Yeah, you were covered, yeah.
Remember when they're like the first? I call this the first generation of LCD because they tried to take CRT monitors and make them flat screens. Remember that? Like they would actually have.
Well, it kind of worked.
It did kind of work. It actually looked good. But remember that though? Like I thought that was always kind of funny. It was like, whoa, like yo, like this is kind of cool and all, but it still weighs like a fucking dump truck though.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have the flat screen, but then if you look at it from the front, it looked kind of really nice, but then on the back side of it,
You're like, what the
It's
hell
like-
is that?
yeah, there was like 7 feet more of your TV.
Right?
And shit, I mean, a 19-inch television can make you have a hernia.
Bro, like 19 inches back in the day was king for your bedroom. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all you needed.
But shit, I mean, like those things weighed tons. And if you ever got one that was like a 32-inch TV, you needed a fucking moving van, like the company to come in there and like team lift that son of a bitch. Because I remember being whenever like moving and having the CRT TVs and like wherever we like brought it in and set it, that's where it stayed the rest of the time we lived there. Like there's some of was too damn heavy to move around the house.
Well, I actually have experience with a heavier TV. It's not CRT. The original plasmas.
Oh god, those were fucking.
Yeah. My neighbor just recently bought a used 65-inch, I believe. It's at least 60 inches. Hitachi plasma TV, and it was one of the original ones. And he couldn't get anyone to help him move it, so he came and asked me.
37 limbs, 14 objective kills, 12,000 damage, 12 Death Blossom kills, 6 deaths.
Damn.
With 1,800 healing.
So I told him, I'll do what I can. I mean, that thing didn't even, you couldn't set it on a TV stand, and you couldn't mount it to a wall. It had its own special stand with steel, like 2x2 bars that were mounted to this stand, and the TV mounted to those bars. So after helping him take apart the TV stand, I was like, yeah, I don't think I can help you do this. And he was like, just please, Shane, come on. I can't find anyone to help me lift it. After that, after getting the TV, maybe I'd say 30, 35 feet, I couldn't move for days. That thing was fucking heavy.
Yeah, my wife had one when we first moved out of her house. We sold her trailer, and so we had to clean it. Like we weren't taking the plasma. We had to take everything off the walls and get everything completely like moving ready for them. And I remember I took like the plasma. I was like, because I lifted other flat TVs that were just light as a feather. And she never told me anything about this thing. And so I went over there and tried to grab it like one of those regular flat screen TVs. That some bitch just went flying in the floor because I mean, my body was not ready for the weight of that motherfucker. Like those things were, like they're definitely they fool you because they look like they'd be nothing.
Shit,
And then you
before
lift it and it's like, dear God.
After, because my 46-inch flat screen fried, so before I got the one that I have now, my parents gave me their old Sony Wega, which was one of those 50-inch backlit, but the ones where it was mirrored, so it wasn't all that deep.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, that thing was huge. And it had the two big speakers on the front as part of like the little stand that it was on.
Is that one of the big ass ones that came in the box kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck those. Like most of them have wheels built in. That's how heavy they
Well,
are.
no, it was the ones right after that. Like it wasn't a huge big box thing, but it was like the screen was like it was like 3 times or 4 times as deep as a flat panel, but then it had a little stand that was maybe like, I don't want to say like half, but maybe 3/4 of the size of the width of the TV, and in that was 2 speakers, and then it had all the buttons on like the middle part. It was a good TV, did 1080p, looked really nice, but fuck, it was just huge.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, our family buying like one of the, like it was whatever the biggest CRT TV was, and they brought it home because they were just gonna like, it's no big deal, you can just plug it in, and you had to get it out of the fucking box. Like we ended up having to just cut the box all the way around it and let the box fall so we could actually get to the bottom because there was no lifting it out of the box. Like you had to like slide it on the box over to the area and then kind of just hope to God that y'all had enough people in your you had enough people in your family to lift it up onto your little entertainment center. And I remember, like, you never knew if your entertainment center was actually going to be able to handle the weight of the new TV. So you sit it on there and you just like listen for creaks and cracks, like hoping to see if it's gonna crack, crumble.
You have a bunch of people around it too. Like, okay, if it falls, grab it.
Yes. Don't let that motherfucker hit the ground. Like, yeah, like any of us would be able to stop it.
Right?
I remember. Do you guys remember the old school mirror TVs that they're called DLP?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they weren't that long ago actually. They were right on the PS3 launch days, and I had a buddy of mine, and he got his at Costco. It was on sale. They didn't make it far. You know what I mean? I think he only paid like $400 for it, and it was like a huge 75-inch screen. I mean, it was a beautiful TV. And
They weren't around for too long because like
no, they
it
weren't.
wasn't a couple
LCD.
years before LCDs were out. Yeah.
Let's say LCD took over.
But that DLP shit was, I think they were onto something, dude, because even at like 1080p, that shit was crisp.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually
They look
crisp.
nice.
Yeah, they
I
look
think that-
really good.
I think whatever the technology was inside of it, it didn't last long. Like the TVs didn't last long. So I
Yeah.
think that was the reason why the LCDs kind of took over because they lasted longer.
Not to mention the DLPs, like, they still suffered screen burn.
Yeah, they were the
So-
HD DVD compared to the Blu-ray.
Yeah, that would be fair, yeah.
Chris is like, I remember pixelated tits.
Y'all remember? Y'all probably don't because y'all don't know how old y'all are. But so where the only thing you could watch porn, but the only thing you could watch was like a squirrely screen on your CRT TV because you had to like turn the channel like to 72 or whatever.
Yeah. Didn't get the Playboy channel. It was all scrambled.
Yep. But you could hear it. And so every once in a while, you might get to see a chip pop into the thing because it like a little bit would come clear.
But there was Skinamax though.
It would not. I mean, not back. Like I was before Skinamax.
True.
Okay.
But wasn't very long after that they had Skinamax.
No, that's whenever you thought you were in heaven because like, oh hell.
You're like, yo, Taxi Cab Confessions, baby.
Yeah,
I am on this shit. Like,
Cinemax at night, you were like, yes.
you're like, damn, that chick's hot. She's getting railed.
Yeah.
Mom, where's the lotion and tissue?
Like, I thought this shit was illegal to be on TV. Yeah.
Bro, like, they think the internet's bad for weird shit. Like, I remember when there was that program that I discovered what sloshing was. And I never heard about it online, ever. Like, you hear about everything else online. You hear about people's crazy, furry kinks that they like and shit like that. But you never knew what sloshing was until Skinamax. And I was like, yo, like, that is the craziest shit I have ever seen in my life. People fucking inside of food. Like, that is the weirdest shit I had ever seen.
Yeah, Garuda, late night Showtime has nothing on late night Cinemax.
No, dude. Back in the day, late night Cinemax was the equivalent to you being online looking up weird shit, okay?
Well, late night Cinemax is still like just nothing but softcore porn the whole entire night. Like,
Yep.
and every channel is Cinemax.
I remember my grandparents were like, because we lived with my grandparents when I was a kid, they wouldn't pay for Cinemax, and like every once in a while, the cable company would be like, "Okay, this weekend
get a free
enjoy
month,
free
yeah.
trial." I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not coming out of my room, so
You're like,
Your
hey,
parents-
Bob, I'm cleaning my room. Don't open the door.
Your parents were always like, "You're never home. Why are you home this weekend?"
yeah.
Well, see, we got this free trial, and
Like,
My
not
friends
that-
are all barricaded in their rooms too, so I'm not going
You
to
were
get
all
all
Taxi
that
Cab
accomplishment.
Confessions Season 3 is being debuted tonight.
So you were all like, "Nothing. I just want to spend time."
How old was Skinamax? I mean, shit, I remember that shit when I was like,
Dude, that shit was
12
like
or
even back when I
13.
was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
I was like 10 first time
That was,
I
Skinner-
bro, that was like back when when dial-up carriers
Cinemax.
used to charge per like minute to be online. Remember that?
Skinemax has been around since Cinemax started. Like, that was always their late night programming.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I never understood how they were able to get away with that because like even HBO can barely show a lot of that stuff, but Cinemax, man, like they're like, oh, here's Pornhub.
Hell yeah. What was that other one that they had? It was what was it, strippers, I think is what they called it. And it would like give you the life of a stripper.
Oh yeah, like that. I think that one was actually on HBO though.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah, like HBO does a lot of those documentaries on the like the life of a stripper, the life of a call girl, the life of a one of those bunny ranch girls or whatever. Like the only thing I ever remember seeing on Cinemax is like late night is just nothing but like terrible acting and naked people.
They're like, why do you watch Cinemax so much, son? Because the stories are awesome.
The production quality, top notch.
I mean, I think at this point, I can honestly say Zelda has a better story than those things. Like,
it's funny you should say that, Shane, because I believe they were actually using higher grade cameras than most of the cinema films that were used at the time. They were using straight up high DSLRs when DSLRs were first coming around.
The fucked up part though is if you watch Skinemax and like you were ever like I remember this one time after a few of those free trials, like maybe a month or two went by, and I remember walking in my living room and my grandma was watching a Lifetime movie, and I recognized a couple of the actors from the Lifetime movie, and I started to say something, and I was like, "Nope, never seen them before in my life."
I was just watching Lifetime in there. I promise. Yeah, like, I love Lifetime.
I watched this show. This is the one where the chick gets raped and she later falls in love with her raper, right?
Now though, like the cable companies have gotten a little bit, I guess, more sophisticated for the children, because if you have like the boxes, because it's all digital now, but so if you have like multiple boxes in the house, you can tell what each box has been viewing. Like you can actually look up their view history as a parent, or not really as a parent because it's not a child thing, but it just has the main box. So you can like if you can look at your like say if you have a box in the kids' room, you can look it up and go and find out if they've been watching Cinemax at night.
Dude, that's because the people that are running the cable companies were kids when we were kids. They know what's going on.
And they were like, "Yeah, Cinemax is it's still a thing." So
They don't ever have good movies on Cinemax. It's just late night shit.
Garuda, you're right though. Back in the day, LMN used to be fucking dope, dude. Like, they came up with some of the most crucial fucking stories I have ever heard of.
I still get sucked into them.
Yeah, it's easy to get sucked into it. You know how I got sucked into it? I'll tell you what. When I walk past the TV and Val has LMN on, and I hear some shit about, like, you know, this person, but your father raped you. Why do you still love him?
With 2 kilos of cocaine on a Wednesday. It was raining.
Stop.
It's like,
tell me you don't stop, and in the back of your mind, you're wanting to see what happens next.
Fuck, I gotta see what happens now.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to the cocaine? Is she okay? Did it stop raining that Wednesday? It's just so many questions arise.
And then what sucks is that Lifetime has a way of, like, after you finish that show, you'll be stuck there for 2 or 3 more hours watching the next one and the next one because you're like because the preview for the next show is like, okay, I got to know. Like, does she actually, you know, fall in love with the rapist or like it's so like Lifetime is like such a they're so cheesy shows, but they suck you in like to where
but
sometimes you spend the whole day watching them.
Some of the stories are so horrendous.
Oh, I know.
It's so crazy that you like the sick part of you is like, oh God, I gotta see how this concludes.
Like to me, I think Lifetime has actually just like scoured like every police station and looked for the most bizarre police records and said, "We're doing a movie." Like, because like some of the stuff they put on there is like so bizarre, but
I think they just have it on Dice. You know, one of them is what happened to her, raped or, you know, molested or mugged or, you know, so they roll the dice of what happened, and then the next one is how it happened.
It's all based on true stories.
Is it really?
Yeah,
but how based though? That's the thing.
Like, you know what's crazy is like at the end of the show, they used to show pictures of the real people.
Yeah.
And they'd tell you a short thing about it, like, oh, you know, she got to keep custody of her kids, blah blah blah. And it was like, damn, that's what she looks like. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a full dramatization. Like, it's just a full reenactment of the things that she told. the stories that she told or he told, if it happened to be like they got like was able to actually talk to the killer or the rapist or whatever. I don't know, the stories, man. Like I said, they're weird, but they're compelling. They're just
They
like,
suck you fucking
Yeah.
in, dude. Like, you're like, yo, like this 13-year-old girl is in charge of her brothers and sisters, and she's working a job, and you're like, what state would allow this?
And
then
they've
you
made
start watching it, and you're like, wow, so she actually got away with this because of this, this, and this. Okay, that's kind of crazy.
they've actually even made me shed a tear a couple of times.
Man, I watched Element. You do not need to be old to watch Element. Trust me.
No,
I've been watching that shit
man.
off and on since I was a kid.
Yeah, and I'd walk by my mom would be watching it, and I'd be like, okay. Like, just end up glued to the TV.
There you go. Like, so this is what we're doing today. All right, you want to order a pizza? Okay.
Pretty much, actually, yeah.
What's sad is I'll even find myself, like, my kids are watching, like, the Disney Channel with, like the teenagers that were actually robots or whatever that were made or whatever.
Lab rats?
Yeah. I'll end up, like, walking through, and I'll just like, something's happening funny or whatever, I stop and look. And next thing you know, I've been standing in this one position for, like, the whole 30-minute show, and I'm like, my wife's going, you like the show? I'm like, no, I just stopped and looked. I'm going.
Yeah, careful, Rambo. That happened to me with Liv and Maddie on the Disney Channel. I've now seen them all.
Too, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you had
All
to know
4
what happened.
seasons.
Jesus! All 4 seasons, man?
Did you go
Yeah.
Netflix or something?
Yep.
So you can know what happened to her?
Well, no, I don't have cable, so when my kids watch something, it's on Netflix, and they'll binge watch the shit out of something. Well, I have now seen every Liv and Maddie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got one little girl that will rewatch the same show at least 30 times.
Yeah, Chris, the Twilight Zone was another. I love it. You are now entering the Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone and The Outer Limits were my 2 favorite shows at one point.
I liked the new. Was it? Oh, I can't remember. I think it was Twilight Zone when they did like 2 seasons of a new one. And I can't. It was like late '90s or maybe like early 2000s, and they had a couple of cool episodes on there.
Do y'all remember the HBO show called Tales from the Crypt?
I love
I
it.
never watched it,
Yeah.
but I remember see that skeleton dude.
Yeah, that was basically the HBO version of the Twilight Zone, basically.
Yep.
There was always some really
awesome.
weird shit happening too. Yeah, it was always another thing that just sucked you in.
And you know what's crazy is the Tales of the Crypt was like, it was just a bunch of like karma type shit. So like you'd see the killer about to kill somebody, and the next thing you know, the victim would turn around.
Yep.
And the killer would be dead. Yeah, that's what I loved
It
about
was
that
the
show.
adult version of that not Nick at Night, the Saturday Night Nick show. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Chris, Garuda, I never. My mom started watching Friday the 13th movies and all that shit with me whenever I was a baby so I grew up on all the horror flicks and all that stuff like this, and none of these scary movies these days or even scary shows scare me. They just always interest me. That's the reason why I hate going to the movies with my wife or whatever in a scary show, because she's jumping and I'm like, what? You didn't know that was gonna fucking happen?
I can't wait. A new Halloween movie comes out this year.
It does?
Yeah.
I love Michael Myers.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is in it and everything. They started
I
filming
saw
about a
her.
week ago.
I saw the picture she took with the actor. I thought that was cool. I hope Jamie Lee Curtis busts out, dude.
Mhm.
Chris, what happened to that show is it lost viewership, and HBO was kind of started turning into sort of a Netflix type thing, so where they started just creating their own original content, and they needed to keep up with the times to stay relevant because Netflix was killing them.
What happened in Tales from the Crypt, man? I'll tell you what happened. It is called Tales from the Hood. If you remember that show, that's why.
Y'all remember Fraggle Rock?
Oh, I think everybody remembers Fraggle Rock, bro.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. The
Until
song
you
on that.
and then you realize that one of those characters are extremely emo, and she actually writes poetry about killing herself. Then you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this really wasn't a child's fucking cartoon show thing.
I never knew that about her.
Yeah, we watched an episode a while back, and it was sometime recently. I can't remember when though. And me and Val were listening to her, the little character with like blue hair or whatever. Yeah, she sings about killing herself and everything. Yeah, it's pretty emo. But when you're a little kid, you don't think about listening to the words. You just think, oh, this is a good song.
Yeah. Yeah, as an adult going back and listening to all the songs that we listened to as a kid, you realize how many of them were sexual.
Yeah.
And yeah, Chris, I like the only one that's really made me jump in a video game was that PT. Like I want to be able to be scared, but I think I've just gotten so used to the scary movie
coming?
setup, yeah, that I see it coming and it takes me out of the thing. I don't really get scared anymore. I always go to every movie though in hopes that will be the movie.
Man, haunted houses aren't even fun to me, dude. Like,
No, they aren't.
I pissed off the Not Scary Farm crew back in 2010 when I was living in the apartment still, and all because I wouldn't jump. I just wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't scare me. I went in. I was like, okay, yeah, they're scared. Go ahead and chase them. Man, fuck you. You're a fucking party. Like he said, fuck you. You are a party pooper or some shit like that. It's something childish. I was like, dude, really? Come on. You're gonna do this with me right now? I'm a paying customer. Just go do your shit and shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, my wife, she likes to go through the haunted house. So she'll get scared and hold on to me or whatever, but I'll walk through it. I mean, it's like you can just tell like where you're about to get jumped out at and all these different things. And I'll eventually just walk through like, hi, 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 hi. It's fun to watch my wife get scared though. Yeah, PT's the only one that has ever really done anything to me. Like I was playing with in the night. My wife was asleep, and I had my headphones on, and I had I don't know. I think I turned around, and that lady appeared right in my face, and I didn't. There was no music leading up to it, nothing to let you know that you were about to get scared because you'd been walking this hall forever and nothing happened. And as soon as that thing happened, like I jumped and my remote just like I couldn't grab a hold of it again, and my remote went flying. And yeah, my wife woke up and she started cracking up at me. I was like, that right there told me, I was like, I have to have this game, and then it got canceled.
which was a shitty thing. Man.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have done that.
That's a mean thing to do, Goget.
What did the Go-Get do?
Punches his brother when he tries to scare him or something.
Oh, Garuda, Alien Isolation wasn't scary.
Kinda.
No.
Yeah, it's more nerve-wracking. It's not a frightening thing. It's a more of a suspenseful thing. I don't think they didn't do the. I don't think they did the motion sensor and all that quite because it was only one alien, and so it wasn't quite the same as in the first couple like Alien versus Predators when you'd hear the noise of the motion detector go off, and so you'd be like looking left and right, and like you'd see one dot. And you'd be going to, but then you hear like on the other, and you see there's more of them coming from like the other side, and then it's like, oh shit, you're backing up, and they're all around you, and they're surrounding you and shit. So yeah, I think they tried to do it kind of the same as in the original AVPs, and it just didn't quite work out the same because it was just the one alien.
Yeah.
Until you got to the bottom, and then it ended up being like a bunch of the aliens, but they never. The only time you ever really saw the other ones were whenever you were in their lair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, I actually quit playing Outlast because I got bored. Like everybody else says it's scary, and I'm just like, I'm bored. Like I don't know what's scary about it. I want to get through it though, because I want to play the second one, but I think you have to play the first one to kind of understand the second one. And the DLC apparently has a guy getting castrated.
Shit.
Outlast didn't really scare me either. I mean, it was dark though. I liked the darker grittiness. That was cool. But it never scared me.
I'm gonna, since I haven't ever played Resident Evil 7, like the first time I'm gonna play it is through VR, so that way it'll give me the most immersion, and hopefully it'll scare me that way.
Man, the first one was pretty scary when I was playing it like 9 years old at a buddy's place for his birthday.
Yeah, playing through them now, it's kind of hard to believe they were ever scary.
I know, right?
Like they're like it's so fucking cheesy now that you're like, how the hell was that scared? It's almost kind of like watching the original Friday the 13th, like where they actually cut away from the actual killing scene. Like, how the hell was I ever scared of this shit? Like,
Fear was still the best one for me. Probably Fear 2.
Fear was pretty good.
But that whole series,
I
yeah.
never played that one.
Oh man, you need to. But in the dark with headphones,
I just don't know if it would do anything now because of the going back and playing that old gameplay. Like the jump scares really aren't as good as what they were back then, you know?
because that's it. It's not quite jump scares. They were really, really good at, like, they knew exactly what you were thinking, because like they would do a thing where, you know, the screen would start like flickering and shaking and doing its weird thing, and then you'd see the Alma chick coming at you. And so like you'd be getting ready for it, and like you'd look around and like you'd hear a noise and you'd look and like nothing would happen, but as soon as you would drop your guard, bam, that's when she comes and, you know, grabs you or whatever it is happens. They were really good at understanding like how people thought as far as stuff like that went, and it was just perfect. But yeah, one, the graphics are probably a little, they're definitely dated, but two is still pretty good. Those look decent compared to modern games. And yeah, I liked Fear, J. Caesar, but 3 was kind of, I don't know if disappointing is the right word, but it was definitely not in the same caliber as the first two. They took it in a new direction, and it was pretty cool having the two people, your brother that was the spirity dude that you could do all the different powers with and take people over and shit like that, so you could run each mission twice with the two different guys, and that was kind of cool, but it just kind of didn't match the whole, I mean, that was the thing, you were even beyond the first guy, you were a total super soldier, and that kind of erased the whole fear element from it, because you weren't like a regular dude. You were the super soldier.
Yeah. You had nothing to fear at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was kind of like in the first one, it was like, oh man, I don't know if I can get through this. Or the first and second one, I guess. But in the third one, it was like, well, I'm this big badass dude. Of course I can take care of these monsters. Like, I'm the biggest, baddest monster there.
I hate when games like scary games do that, because then it completely takes the immersion out of it.
Yeah. Still, I mean, it was not a bad game. It just I don't think it was quite on the same caliber as the first two.
Yeah, I bought some old CD cases. Well, they're new, but the older kind that were actually the full size. Because I'm gonna like take like say Uncharted 4 and some of the exclusives that I like Until Dawn and Last of Us and stuff, and remake the cover into a PlayStation 1 cover. They can put the PlayStation 4 disc in there.
Right on.
They kind of change up the change up the look at them, and it'll actually take up less space too.
Shane's still there?
No, he left earlier. He said he'd be back, and then Brent said he'd be back, so no telling when they'll be back. Sometimes when they say that, it's like 30 or 45 minutes later.
Sometimes it's hours.
Yeah, sometimes it's never. The next day, they're like, oh, did I miss something? Yeah, dead bodies don't bother me at all. See you later, Gruda. Thanks for stopping by. Or hanging out, I guess I should say, not stopping by, because you've been here for quite some time. You as well, Chris. I went and watched a horror movie with it was Freddy vs. Jason with a friend of mine from work a long time ago. And she said she's terrified. She was always saying she's terrified of scary movies, but this girl wanted to leave because if you're watching a scary movie or action movie, the previews are for scary movies or action movies.
Mm-hmm.
This girl was previews. We hadn't even made it to the fucking movie, and she wanted to leave. I was like, you gotta be kidding me! Geez, this is nothing. Wait till the movie.
Oh, terrible. I've only ever left early on one
Chris.
movie.
I don't think I've ever left early. Well, I thought about it, but I've never left early.
I left one movie halfway through. That was Red Tails. I couldn't handle it. Fucking.
That's the one about the black pilots, right?
Yeah, and it was.
Yeah.
God, it was just so over the top and so ludicrous.
I never saw it myself, but I remember it being advertised or whatever.
It was bad enough, because for me, I'm all about because I love World War II planes and shit, and I love dogfighting scenes and shit like that. And they totally fucked those up, which just made me furious. And there were scenes where they were strafing and blowing up buildings or whatever, and I could have swore to God that they had ripped the sound effects from Star Wars or something. And that shit was irritating enough, but there was this scene where the pilots save one of the bombers or something, and the bomber pilots go oh wow, those Negro pilots, they really saved us, and it was just the way he said it and the line that they had to say, and it was just okay, that's it, I'm out.
Being racist, Pete? Is that what you're doing?
Totally, dude. Yeah. You can tell too, because I liked what was that crappy one with Ben Affleck? Pearl Harbor.
Oh yeah.
Ben Affleck was in Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, he was the main guy.
I've never seen it.
Him and not Matt Damon, but that other kid with the feathery
Damon,
hair.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
That describes a lot of people.
I know, right? He's the other. He looks a lot. Not looks like him, but he's the same kind of dude. He's always in those movies as the good-looking kid.
Freddy vs. Jason was the shit. Caesar.
Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, it was Freddy vs. Jason was more of a comedy than it was a scary movie.
Well, see, I don't watch those Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Scream. To me, I look at those, and it's gonna sound really fucked, but at this in the same perspective as superhero movies.
I
And
mean,
like
yeah.
those iconic slasher killers are, the anti-hero, the villain, however you want to word it. I mean, I watch for them, not to be scared, because they're anything but scary.
Yes, Chris, the first Silent Hill movie. That was a good movie. Either of you guys see that?
Mm-mm.
It was
I've never seen
actually
that.
pretty damn good. And it was pretty freaky.
Later, Caesar.
I think everybody's leaving.
Yeah.
Where's Brim at?
He said he'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, he bounced.
The new. Oh shit! Someone's at my door.
Oh shit. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah,
Oh, man.
the second one was eh. It was not that
Okay.
not that great at all.
They've taken the Freddy and Jason movies like way too many.
Well, I mean, they're just like, but like I said, just like superhero movies. There will always be
Yeah.
another Batman movie. There will always be another Nightmare on Elm Street. It's just
Yeah.
like you can bank on it.
Damn,
Damn,
It's
Pete,
just
your
like-
password's wrong.
That's
At
not
least
my
with the
password, that's
Batman or whatever,
Brem's.
like they can, like changing the actors and stuff like that. They can, like, it makes it feel like a new movie or whatever. But Nightmare on Elm Street, they just ran out of ideas.
They need to go off that Freddy versus Jason style, and Michael Myers and one of these guys needs to face off. Leatherface needs to be thrown in there. Same with the Ghostface, Pinhead, all of them. Like slasher battle royale.
That'd be pretty cool. My money's on Michael Myers.
Yeah, he's probably one of my favorites. Well then, another 4-hour stream on Friday night.
That's what it seems like.
You know what, Go Get? I don't like your fucking attitude.
Yeah. I guess. Keep it up, Go Get. Just waiting. I've got the power now, bitch.
Do it. Fucking do it. Take that wrench next to your name and beat you silly with it, motherfucker.
Pinhead. Fuck Pinhead.
Well, you don't know who Pinhead is, Pete?
I've never watched the movies, and
From Hellraiser.
yeah, I've never seen those.
They're weird movies.
Yeah, they are pretty weird. I don't care for them.
Yeah, me neither. I watched the first one. I couldn't ever watch the rest of them because like the first one was so fucking weird that I was like, I don't even think I'd even enjoy
They're
that.
weird and slow.
Yeah. He doesn't really, to me, doesn't really make a good bad guy. The storyline that they gave him.
Why would anybody want one of your poems, Go Get?
You're a poet now? Fuck, man. Pick a line of a work or whatever, however you want to say that shit, and stick with it. One day you're a gamer, the next day you're a YouTuber, then you're a voice actor, now you're a poet. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Or do you want to end it?
I think I think that we've actually talked about everything that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, you guys talked about the Counter-Strike thing before I got here, right?
Counter-Strike?
Yeah, what Counter-Strike thing?
Oh, Pete, I told you about it the other day. Co-creator was arrested for the
Oh,
exploitation
yeah,
of
yeah.
a child, the sexual exploitation of a child
Oh,
Yeah.
in Seattle.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Go figure.
that is messed up, man. I bet there's a lot of those out there like that just haven't been caught.
I mean, he's the co-creator of Counter-Strike. You figure why would someone like that be into that?
Well, you could say the same thing about the
The coach or whatever.
sure, or why it was what's it, Weinstein, you know?
I guess because when you see things like that are so heinous like that, you automatically like pair it with poverty and desperation and stuff like that. When I guess it always isn't like that.
Yeah, I think you start questioning like, could I ever do it? And the only way, like your brain, like if I was hungry or if I was, that type of thing, it starts to rationalize like you're with yourself in that situation. But yeah, I think it's the only way to actually wrap your mind around or correlate it with something that you could actually even be able to understand. Because those are some depraved individuals.
Yeah. Is that what you're into? Go get ladies' diapers.
I think it is.
Probably
bro.
is.
He's got a thing for the new ones that still look like underwear, I think.
Those granny penny ones.
Yeah, and then he likes them, the ones that are like cups on men. They're like maxi pads for guys, right? Go get.
Just in case we cough and leak.
There's a kink called diaper play. I'll take your word for that.
Yeah, I don't need to see it.
Yeah, we're good. All right, guys. Guess it's that
All right.
time.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for
Be
coming
sure
by, guys.
to like and all that, and we'll see you all
Fuck you,
next
go
week.
get.
And fuck you, go get.
Yeah, fuck you, go get.